Hey guys, morning. Let me post up this link to all the pages real quick, and then we can get started. Let's see. So I'm still following US 30, guys. I'm waiting for the signal to appear. Let's see how this plays out. So congrats to everyone that locked in profits yesterday. I saw you guys, a lot of you guys took the NJ position that I sent out. Looks like it would have hit, nearly full TP, and then it's coming right back down right now. So it's playing out. I'm going to go ahead and rescan for all the other trades right now as well. And then we'll see how this, how everything plays out. My main focus right now would be US 30. But let me go ahead and post this link up. Let me get this on the Facebook real quick. And this is such a tedious process. I wish there was a way to just do this automatically. There probably is. I probably got to figure it out. Okay, Facebook. This one. Send out this email. I think if I missed any other places. Oh yeah, the IG real quick. So let me check the IG. Let's see. All right, one last place, guys, where I can post this, and I'll check the chat out. It's pretty nice seeing everyone with profit this morning. I wish I stayed up. Well, I was actually awake during London session. I should have just taken the trade with you guys, but I fell asleep. Let's post this on the IG real quick. Swipe up. All right. And I think we're good. All right, cool. I think we're good, guys. Let me go ahead and check out the, I'm trying to think if I missed any other places. Let me go and check out the Forex pairs real quick. I'm just going to scan through them, see if there's any like late entries we could take. I didn't want to take entries at like right away. And good thing I didn't, because you can see right here, if we did take this entry, it would have retraced back like super hard, like 30 something pips before it ended up coming back down. We can possibly have a late entry right here. But it's still, I mean, I would consider it a risky trade still. It's just been a weird week, guys, overall. So possibly that, I'll just mark that up. And over here, that hit full TP. A over here, moving weird. CAD CHF, CAD JPY, CHF JPY, EA. I mean, this would have been a late entry as well. A lot of these, I'm glad I didn't call them because they ended up pulling back prior to, actually going to where they were supposed to go. This looks like it's going to retrace back too. I'll just mark it up. I'm just going to mark these up so that if we want to take a late entry, we can. However, I'm just being careful, guys, because it is a holiday week and there's a lot of crazy news going on with the stimulus and with COVID as well. So that's why you see the market moving all crazy. Like GA over here, it dropped, let's see. It dropped in profit like nearly 200 pips, and then now it retraced up 200 pips as well. So that's why I'm not calling too many trades this week, guys, because there's just a lot of uncertainty in the market. It doesn't look like there's really any entries for the Forex pairs this morning. Aside from the NJ that I called yesterday, it looks like it's about to hit full TP. And the problem with this is there's not enough space between the zones, guys. Like less than 20 pips right there. So it's too risky of a trade to really take currently. Yeah, so there's not really much to take for FX, guys. Aside from the NJ I sent you guys, we'll be watching US 30 this morning. And I think that's about it. So let me pull up the chat real quick and let me open up my windows. All right, cool. Let's see who's in the room. Let's scroll up over here. Hey, morning, David. Looks like David's at work today with Ron, Mexico. Morning, Nicole. Morning, Alec. Morning, Rob. Morning, Kushi. Morning, Chelsea. Morning, Peter. Morning, Victor. Morning, Kassim. Morning, John. Morning, Uzman. Morning, Joe. Morning, NK. Morning, Mercival. Morning, Liz. Morning, Spencer. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Wave Bum. Morning, Matt. Morning, Hamisi. Morning, James. Morning, David. Morning, Josh. Morning, Greg. Morning, Deswell. Morning, Joe. Morning, everybody. So everything looks good today, guys. Let me see if there's anything else that we possibly missed this morning. Yeah, John said that was another fast UK 100 last night. So I'm not sure who took the UK 100 trade last night. I know there was a lot of you guys. I did save all the profits over here. So it looks like, let's see, Victor over here locked in a total of like 642. Chelsea over here locked in about 1,300. Jazz over here locked in about 8,000. That's crazy. Nice. James over here passes FTMO. Congrats, bro. So he's done with his FTMO right there. We have another FTMO member. I'm going to delete these double ones that are posted here. Some of these are posted in multiple times in the groups. But let me just, Jaleesi over here locked in about 218. Nice on her personal account. Cheryl over here locked in about 1,100, 1,147. Varun over here is brand new to K2. Nice, Varun. You locked in about 300. So you pretty much paid off your entire subscription for the year at that point. Tam over here locked in about 400, 500. Patricia over here locked in about 2,458. Paul over here locked in about 1,144. Jazz, I'm gonna delete that to double. And then here's everyone else's profit. Here's the admin profits, guys. So this is like I think Mark, Spencer, Arik. Nice work, guys. Everyone killed it. So some great profits to kick off the trading week. Bounce back from that that US 30 loss yesterday and the UK 100 loss yesterday as well. So it should be good for US 30 as well. We're going to be waiting for this to, I'm going to go ahead and reanalyze this. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of the current zones because I'm sure it's adjusted quite a bit since yesterday. So let's redraw this. Redraw this as well. Right there. Right there. And right there. So we got all these zones right here drawn up. Hide that from the chart. Yeah, everything else looks pretty nice right there. Some nice rejection points. Wow, this thing's dumping right now. So the most recent signal was a sell right here. It was about 550. Market opened right here at 630. So we're probably gonna wait for a buy. That will probably, it might not even happen here. It might push down even further. So it can come up from right here, or it can come up from right here. Let me see how far is this. 800. Wow, that's a huge drop. So if it comes down here, that's a pretty large drop. It might not even drop that far. It might go from this point. I think what might happen here is it'll either reject from this point, or it can possibly, go sideways for a bit before shooting up. So we'll see how this plays out. But this would be the first line of rejection right here. I wonder if there's any other zones that were created, but I think this should be good on the 10-minute. So this is pretty much what we'll be looking for right here. I do have my alert set up. So once we do get a buy alert for US 30, we'll be taking it. Do you guys take a buy for UK 100? Yes, you guys did take a buy for UK 100 right here. I'll just pull that up real quick. We'll just see. I might have to make a new chart of this. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. US 30 results. Let's go to UK 100, and then we'll just take a look at what you guys took last night. I did see that too. I wish I took it, guys, because I was awake at midnight. Surprisingly, it's one of those days that I was awake. But I did see the buy approach. Let me see. So we deleted this. You guys entered at midnight, which was right over here. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, it was right on that candle right there. So right on the opening candle. I should have just took it with you guys. And it hit full TP right there, I think for about 600 pips, right? Or I think it was 500 actually. Yeah, so there's the UK 100 trade that you guys took last night where everyone profited. Let me just check the signal over here. Yeah, you guys hit 500 pips right there. So there was a signal last night and then nice profit. So you guys, if you guys aren't in the premium, obviously this is where you get the signals. I know we're giving them out in the public groups right now, but we're going to stop doing that by the end of the week. So, or by the end of next week, I believe. So if you guys want those trades, just make sure to sign up to premium. The premium again is only $50 right now. So if you guys want it, get it before it goes up or before it disappears, because the trial is going to disappear by the end of the month. Nice. Let me see. Morning Sharp C, morning Tam, morning Jade. Walter said, hour candle about to close with a sell signal for US 30. Let me check out the hour candle real quick. Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna, it might drop, and then following it might follow with a little retracement right here. So we had a retracement here for about 1,000 pips, I believe. But we'll see how that is, because it seems like a lot of people, like if it does reject off this point, this is also it's crazy because we drew this this zone on the 10-minute, but this zone is so strong that it's also on the it's rejecting off the 1 hour as well. So if it's rejecting off this point, then I think it'll do the same thing, and it'll probably just consolidate a bit before shooting up, because if the zone lines up with the 1 hour, usually that doesn't happen. Not with the 10-minute. If you're comparing the 1 hour to another time frame, it would usually line up with maybe the 4 hour, maybe the 30-minute. But if it's lining up with the 10-minute right here, you can see how strong these zones are, even though we drew these on a shorter time frame. Usually there's a lot of noise on these shorter time frames, but it looks good right here. So we'll see how that plays out. We won't be getting a sell signal here since we already have one. But thanks for mentioning that, Walter. Now we'll know that maybe the higher time frames are following up on that. Let me see if there's was it our testing? Yeah, so what I did here was I marked up all of these right here so that we can identify the overall momentum. Looks like momentum is coming down, but I'm not sure for how long. So we'll keep watching it. But we won't jump the gun. I'm probably going to hold off and then wait until we get maybe a false buy and then enter a sell from that point. Because what can happen here as well is it doesn't necessarily have to be a buy, right? What can happen here is we can have some retracement here. We get a false buy, then we get another sell signal, and then it comes farther down, and then we can ride it from that point. So we're not necessarily looking for just a buy today. We're looking for whatever appears. So we'll see if if a false signal comes up, or if a buy signal comes up and it ends up pushing up X amount of pips. Let me see if we take a long position here. Yeah, it's not too far. If we're gonna go for 1,500 pips, it's just gonna push up to this point. This is perfectly fine, because if it rejects off here, we can ride it upwards, and then we'll exit before it reaches the zone over here, and then it can come right back down. So in this situation right here, if on the 1 hour, it retraces a bit, which it can, it happens all the time. Like right here, we got a sell signal, retraced up quite a bit, went sideways before coming right back down. So it's not really going to skew our analysis. We're just going to wait and see what the market provides us. The market is moving weird today. Let me see if there's any new news. CNBC. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened last night. I don't know if you guys are following the news, but Congress passed, the relief bill, and the UK updates are crazy as well, with them going to lockdown, COVID testing. Yeah, so it looks like the main talk of the day is going to be the new COVID bill, which is a lot of money. I think it's not a lot of money for us, for the US citizens, but Yeah, 600 is not enough, guys. What's 600 going to do for most people? Nothing. Just like Aaron said yesterday, that's going to go straight to his Robinhood account. So they're printing out, a total of like 1.4 trillion. So it's a lot of money. Once they start distributing this, the US dollar is just going to get weaker and weaker because that's a lot of money to be printed. And yeah, I mean, it's weird how the US dollar is actually pushing up right now. Let me go to AUD. Yes, the US dollar is actually doing the opposite of what we would expect it to do because they're printing the money. I guess because the money is not being printed just yet. It's just the announcement. They're like pushing price down slightly. So like basically lure in some buyers because not everyone knows how to analyze the news, right? Obviously, if they're printing money, it's going to weaken the US dollar, but not everyone knows how to analyze news. So like when people are just trading technicals, they're getting lured into these sells right here. So they're probably going to get lured into these sells. They're going to push price slightly, like, as far as they can push it. And then all of a sudden, once the money starts printing, it's going to skyrocket up and everyone's going to get stopped out. So we'll see how that goes. I would expect the US dollar to be very, very weak because if they're printing out $1.4 trillion, it's just going to weaken the value of the US dollar because they're just making money out of thin air. So we'll see how this plays out. Actually, not probably not 1.4 trillion, it's 900 billion, but this is going to be going to government. So they're probably going to be printing more than we thought. So we'll see how that goes. But, since we know how to analyze, the basic fundamentals in news, this should definitely not be going down. It should be going up. Let's look at EU. Same here. It looks like it's just going to go sideways, actually. So it might go sideways for a bit before it skyrockets up because the US dollar is definitely going to be weaker. There's no way that it's going to gain in strength if they're printing that much. G right here is dropping. NU is dropping as well. UJ is going up. Yeah, very, very unusual for it to go up like that. What I see happening is they're trying to trap people that don't know how to understand how to analyze the the fundamentals. So we'll see how that plays out, guys. Let me see if there's anything else here. There's no official news because, as you guys know, it's a holiday week. We have Christmas Eve on the 24th. The market's going to be closed, and then we have Christmas on the 25th as well. Let's see, check the news real quick. Doesn't look like there's really much going on for the most part today. And this is why the market's so slow, guys, because there's no news. So the market's just moving really, really slow because there's nothing causing, the market to really spike like how it normally does since it is a holiday week. So let me go ahead and go over here. Also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. That way we can look over any pairs you guys want. But just like I mentioned, volatility is just very slow today. So there's not really too much to really look at this point. So we're still waiting for US 30 right here. It's probably going to come down a bit. And then it's probably going to retest this lower structure and then possibly reject off it. Unless it breaks right through like it did right here. So this is probably what's going to happen here. So see what happened over here. It's like the same exact pattern. See how it came down from this point? So from this middle area right here, see this middle area where it rejected off this point? Same right here, middle area where it rejected off this point. It looks like it's probably going to come down just like it did right here. Same situation right here. Come down to this point and then reject off it like it did right here. For, let's see, how many pips did that move up? This moved from down here up to here for about 3,000 pips, right? So if you look at the patterns, the patterns always repeat themselves. Like right here, see that bullish candle? If this closes with a bullish candle similar to what happened right here, and then we get that buy signal, then we'll take the buy and then we'll ride it upwards. So that's basically what I see happening here again. It's just history repeating itself once again to this point. And if you guys don't see it, it's pretty clear right here. It's the same exact pattern. So let's see how this plays out. But obviously we're not going to take the trade until we have that buy signal, because that buy signal is going to give us the the full confirmation. Let me take a seat real quick. Grab my Kai over. Man, this eagle always wants to sleep at my feet. Come on, Kai. Let's go over a little bit. I'll grab the short camera. All right, buddy. All right. What trade should we take, Kai? Let's take this US 30. All right, let's see if this rejection comes up. Here, buddy. All right. Cool. So let's check out these other pairs over here. Yeah, man, it's just gonna be a game of patience, guys, because volatility is very low today. I'm surprised. I thought it'd be higher because I mean it's not that low. Let's see. So the market opened right here. It dropped about 1,500 pips. So it's not super slow, but I thought it'd be a lot faster, especially with the stimulus being passed. Let's see if there's anything else going on over here. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I don't know how $600 is really gonna going to help people. Well, good thing that it doesn't really affect us. We make money from profiting, so we don't really need that $600. But I do feel bad for the people that do actually need it. All right, so let's see what's going on over here. All right, Short C wants me to take a look at gold real quick. Gvon said US 30 buy. Definitely Gvon. That's what we're waiting for right there. What's up, Aleph? Okay, so also if you guys send me some messages through Telegram, I have a bunch of messages here that I haven't gotten through yet. So I'm not ignoring your message, guys. I'm just gonna get to you guys when I have some time. So right now I'm just focused on, catching this US 30 trade and any of the late entries for the Forex. So if you guys have questions, I will, possibly get to that later. Oh, nice. Got an email from Ftmo CEO. Let's see, what does he want? Hi, Shawn. Hope you're well. As we've been all the conditions, humbly request a favor from you. Nice. So maybe I'll be doing a interview with Ftmo CEO soon. We'll see. Because a lot of people in K2 are passing Ftmo. So, obviously it's starting to gain traction with people trying to wonder, how are people passing Ftmo? So I might be doing an interview with them. I'll check out this email a little later. Let's see, I'm going to connect with, their CEO. Cool. Nice, man. It's going to be awesome. Once I do an interview with Ftmo, we'll probably get even bigger, guys, than we already are. So let me look at gold real quick for Short Scene. So Short Scene wants us to take a look at gold. It's wow, Shawn, big time. Yeah, because I guess the last time that that we posted, or actually last time when I posted my payout, because I guess the problem with Ftmo is people are still skeptical about Ftmo, and they want someone that's not affiliated with them to give an honest review. So we'll see how that goes. Nice, Forex trader. Forex trader said 600, almost enough for the Ftmo full challenge. Definitely for that 100K Forex. Once you get that, that'll be pretty nice. So I'm going to keep helping you guys pass Ftmo because the more that we pass, the more credibility K2 gets for passing Ftmos. Because I think John was mentioning in the group, there's only 8% of people that take Ftmo that actually pass. If we have so many people in K2 that are passing Ftmo, we might have the majority of people that are passing and actually getting funded and getting payouts and stuff like that. So I mean that's good to hear, and I don't see why anyone wouldn't be passing with us because we're taking the same exact trades, right? So if I'm passing Ftmo, this guy's passing Ftmo, this guy's passing Ftmo, why can't you pass Ftmo, right? It's not that difficult, guys. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty exciting if I do that interview. Maybe we'll do the interview right here on our live trading room. That'd be pretty cool, right? You guys can all take part in it. So we'll see how that goes. Deswell said, Shawn, I need to retire next year, fly for fun. Definitely, bro. We just gotta keep taking these US 30 trades. David said I did indoor skydiving yesterday for the first time. It was fun. Nice. Yeah, I saw your Instagram, David. We gotta check that out, bro. We have a lot of those here actually. Nobody goes for whatever reason. Okay, so let me check out gold real quick. Go over to this. Let's see if the analysis from yesterday actually played out because I think my markups are still there. Yeah, so price actually never swung up above the structure right here. So that's why we never, never provided an entry right there. But it looks like actually gold's moving really weird, guys. So like I mentioned earlier with the with the stimulus right here, you know, with this being passed, the US dollar is supposed to be weak. You know, that's basic fundamentals. So what I see happening here is this is probably going to drop a little further, or it might even reject from this point. If price doesn't break this structure and it starts to push upwards, we're probably going to see it spike up. Because the US dollar, you know, obviously they're printing money, it's going to be weaker. And gold is a safe haven currency. So when, you know, the economy's shit and you know, COVID is still like taking over, it's obviously going to go the opposite way, because people are going to put their money into gold because they don't feel comfortable with their money with the US dollar, with it being so weak. So we'll see how this plays out. If this rejects off it pretty nice, it'll probably shoot right back up. Looks like it's respecting the zones that we drew yesterday. So it looks like it's actually establishing higher highs. So if we mark this up right here, we have the low, then we have a high. Actually, we could consider this a high right here. This is a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then, yeah, at that point right there, there's our range, and it's probably going to shoot up and break above here to establish a higher high from there. Or even if we don't account this right here, this little wick, we can put it right here as well. So it doesn't matter where the higher low is. It could be down here, it could be up here. Regardless, it's in a pretty nice range right now. So we'll see how this plays out. It might even drop even further. So it might even drop to here before, you know, shooting up. That's really weird that the US dollar pairs are up. Let me check the sentiment real quick. Let's see what it's looking like, or, you know, why are people selling? Let's see. IG sentiment, USD. Just see where everyone's trading right now. So gold spot price. Check this out, guys. See, this doesn't make any sense because, well, it makes total sense because it was just like I was saying, right? They're pushing price down to like basically lure people in, because 80% of people are long, because everyone is able to identify that it's going to shoot up at some point because they're printing money. So the US dollar is going to be weak, but for whatever reason, it's coming down. And there's like 80% of people long right now. So they're going to stop all these people out. That's why I'm not really trading right now, guys, like Forex pairs and stuff like that, because there's a lot of manipulation going on. They're probably going to spike because there's a bunch of people that have long positions, right? You know where their stop losses are? Their stop losses are probably, let's see, so they probably entered right here. This makes sense because, or they might have entered right here, because you see this rejection point. I'll just replay right here. And this was last night. Yeah, last night when they announced the stimulus. So this is what happened, guys. You see this rejection off this point comes down, rejection, followed by a bullish candle, right? This is going to be an indication of a bullish move. So what people are thinking from here is that, I'm trying to see if we could draw like those little curvy lines. I know you could draw them here, but I'm trying to figure out, not fib circle. It's a tool that I've seen before. I don't really use it myself. View up. Anyways, I'll just draw an arrow. Okay, so basically right here, looks like established a low, followed by a bullish candle. So people probably entered a buy position right here, right? Because the stimulus came out and people thought that it was going to come up. It's really mental, guys. It's all mental. And what happened was people enter their positions right there. Their stop losses are likely right here, right? This is where everyone puts their stop loss, below the structure. This is probably what happened. And then they pushed price down and they stopped everyone out, right? Obviously, that's probably what happened there, because there's so many people here that are long. 80% of people are long, but price is still coming down. They're just screwing with people at this point. Again, right here, you see the rejection right here, followed by a buy signal, right? Rejection off this point, buy signal right there. What do people do? Same exact thing. They got stopped out right here. They're like, oh man, they blame it on market manipulation, right? That's what everyone says. And then right here, another long position, they enter a long right there. Their stop loss again is probably like right here, or it might be somewhere right here, right? They want to put it at the previous swing this time. So it dropped again right there. So what I see happening is I probably see this dropping down to here to stop everybody out. As soon as it stops everyone out, it's going to shoot right back up. Or it'll keep going sideways, guys. So this is probably what's going to happen. It's going to reject off this point again after they stop these people out. So they stop people out right here. That's one loss. Stop people out right here, another loss. It's probably going to go sideways. And then when they see another rejection off this point, they're going to, everyone's going to put their the stop loss is probably gonna be somewhere around here, below this structure. They're probably gonna keep pushing it down. They're gonna push it up a little bit, spike it right back down right here, stop everyone out, reject off this point, and then skyrocket all the way up. That's probably what's gonna happen. So that's why I wouldn't trade gold right now, guys. It just doesn't make sense. This is coming down super heavy, but why is it coming down super heavy? If 80% of people are long, it just doesn't make any sense. Plus, it's common sense that it's going to go up because of the news. But since there's no, it's just funny because I know there's I'm sure there's a ton of people that are trying to just buy gold and just hold it, right? Because everyone knows it's going to go up eventually. You just don't know when it's going to go up. So there's like a deeper look into this because, why would it be dropping when literally everybody and their moms are long right now? If 80% of people are long, it shouldn't be dropping. But here we go. If it closes below here, it's definitely going to do what I just mentioned. It's probably going to come down to, oh, there we go. It broke the structure. See that, guys? If this doesn't like shock you guys, then I don't know what to tell you guys, because this is really shocking that it's coming down. Let's see how many pips. So the news was announced right here last night. So it's come down about almost 200 pips, and there's majority of people are long in the market. So that's why I don't really mess with the market right now, guys. There's a ton of manipulation going on because this should obviously be going up, but it's not. So I would hold off on gold. So yeah, short scene, hang out for a bit, and yeah, hang out for a bit, and then we'll see how this ends up going from here. But we'll see how this plays out. So let me keep going through the questions right here. Yeah, Gene Bond, we're still waiting for that buy signal in US 30. We're waiting for the rejection off this point so that we can take the buy upwards. Peter, so I'll be joining Ftmo mid-January at the 50K account. Nice, nice. Josh says, hey, Shawn, do you or will you ever scalp live? Probably not. I already mentioned this to you guys like a whole bunch of times. If I start to scalp live, everyone's going to try to start to scalp, right? And if I start to scalp and everyone does things like not the proper way, which is probably what's going to happen, people are going to start blowing their accounts. That's the reason why I don't scalp live. Well, I've scalped live before, but the problem with me scalping live is that everyone loves to scalp because everyone just has that addictive personality when they're not at the level of scalping yet. So I probably won't be scalping, but it's easy to scalp, guys. Just use a pivot strategy. Like, right here, you could scalp this for a buy for like a quick, like 300 to 500 pips right there, 300 pips, right? If you're using the pivot strategy, you could have scalped that right there for 300 pips. Same situation right here. Close below, another scalp for another 300, 500 pips right there. It's not really that difficult, guys. And I'm not trying to scalp for you guys because I know once I do this, everyone's going to try to do it and they're probably not going to do it right. And they're going to end up blowing accounts. So I'm just going to, the thing with scalping, guys, it's more for, it's a bit advanced. It's not for everyone, especially not beginner traders. And the majority of people here are beginner traders that, are looking for a shortcut. So I just don't want to give you guys that opportunity to possibly blow your account because you guys see me scalping. You think it looks really, really easy. But when you actually do it, it really tests your trade psychology. Because it's not as easy as it looks. Like right here, I can show you all these entries, but the thing is, it's not as easy as it looks because you have to actually be watching the trade. Like there's like one win right there, right? There's one win right here. It looks like this might have been a loss right here. Yeah, that'd have been a loss. So, just looking at these results right here, I mean, just like, checking out these trades over here, just from yesterday, there would have been, let's see. Yeah, just from yesterday, looks like there was like one win, two wins, one loss, 3 wins right here. and then a fourth win right there as well. So just using the pivot strategy right here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 wins and 1 loss. So you can see how easy it is to scalp this. If you guys don't know that strategy, it's on the K² website. Let me show you guys real quick. It's really easy. And Josh, you probably shouldn't be scalping because, you know, you've been in K² for a while. I don't think you should be scalping, bro. If you want to learn that strategy, it's right here. The K² pivot strategy, K², sorry, it's actually right here. K² scalping strategies. It's going to be the K² pivot scalping strategy right here. So that's pretty much the strategy that I applied right here really quickly. And you can see how easy it is to apply. It's just a lot of people still do it wrong, even though it's super easy. And if you guys want to see a breakdown for it, I can show you guys. But yeah, I'm probably not going to do it live because we're more focused on taking this entry anyways, the daily entry versus these little scalp entries. So yeah, Josh, I mean, if you want to learn it, it's not that difficult. It's really easy. It's just a lot of people don't do it properly. So I don't want to encourage people to scalp when they're not ready to scalp yet. Okay, let me keep checking over here. See if there's anything else. Shortstein said, thank you for discussing gold. Yeah, definitely, bro. So like looking at gold again, you can obviously see that it's going to, it's probably going to keep going sideways, if not drop further. Well, you see how it spiked down here. It probably stopped people out already because a lot of people have their stops below these structures. So it's probably going to go sideways, might spike lower, but I think eventually it's going to go up. You know, just basing it off fundamentals with the news and stuff. Let's see, Mark Lynn said you cannot enter into an operation with just one candle. The area must be reset so that you can open an operation. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Markilian. If you want to send a chart, we explain yourself a little more in detail. I don't think an area necessarily needs to be reset. I mean, so let me look for an example here. Like this wasn't really reset here. So let me look for an example here where it didn't reset. So we had a rejection point off here, right? I don't think this was a rejection. Like this was a reset point. We had a rejection off this point, sell signal. It ended up dropping. I don't think there really needs to be, necessarily reset somewhere for it to drop. I mean, price can spike at any point. If there's a news event like this right here, I don't think there was a reset after this drop right here, or anything else. Really, gold is a highly manipulated asset. It can spike at any point, especially if it's something dealing with COVID or something dealing with, the US dollar in general. Like the stimulus, it's gonna affect the market. I don't think there needs to be some sort of reset in the market for it to drop. Like right here, this is a clear example. There's a rejection off this point, right? Rejection off this bullish candle. And this is something that I went over with, I think Jade, right? Jade, when we had our mentoring session, she also mentioned this. It's like a tweezers. She calls it the tweezers. We have a rejection off this point followed by a bearish signal and it comes dropping down super heavy. So I'm not sure what you mean by that, Mark Liam, but if you want to send a chart, we can look at it. Maybe it's something that I don't understand or something that I don't know, but I don't think there necessarily needs to be a reset at any point. It could spike up whenever, because the news here directly affects that. Like the news here with the stimulus, this directly affects the US dollar and gold because obviously gold's going to move opposite of the US dollar since it's a safe haven currency. So we would expect it to, if they're printing US dollars, it would shoot up, right? So I'm just trying to understand your thought process because I don't know what you mean by, the market having a reset. Maybe a theory that I don't know, but just from my analysis here, I think it could shoot up at any point. I don't think there really needs to be some sort of, full reset for there to be a swing in price. Anyways, let me go ahead and check over here. Razul said, Shawn, by any chance you can take us through the strategy step by step when you place the trade today? So beginners like me know your thought process. Yeah, Razul. So we can go back to like the beginning of December. That's probably the easiest time to like look at the strategy. So let me open a clean chart over here just so that we could, like this stuff doesn't get in the way, right? So let me go to US 30 over here. So for you guys that are brand new here, it's very, very simple. Let's go ahead and just go back to the first day of this month, which I think was November 30th, right? I mean, it was December 1st, obviously, but I'm talking about the week before the, yeah, so what is the 30th right here? So basically the way that the strategy works, this is going to be the, and this is for the brand new people. I know for the people who've been in K2 for a bit, this might be repetitive, but it's, this is for the brand new people here. K2 daily, US 30 entry, 10-minute time frame. So first, you're just going to look for trades after New York Stock Exchange open, which is going to be 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is Los Angeles time. And then after that, you're going to identify the first valid K2 signal. And lastly, I just enter on the open of the following candle. And then lastly, a stop loss TP at 1500 pips. So it's very, very simple. It's not difficult at all. Sorry, let me just go to the question real quick. Mark Lynn said, in my opinion, it is very manipulated, but it's very simple to understand when it is a bluff or not a real signal. Yeah, exactly, Mark Lynn. That's why we have the momentum signals here for K2. I'm talking about people that don't have, these tools here. There's a lot of people that don't have these tools, and they would see this as rejection, right? So people would see the rejection off this point and buy off there. For us, we wouldn't fall for that because we have the we have tools here to help us identify that. Like for us, if we have a buy signal here, or if we see price break out of structure, then we would take a long position here. Obviously, if you're familiar with the strategy, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the K2 strategies, Mark Lynn, but basically right here, price breaks the structure. We have momentum pushing upwards. We would take a buy signal right there. The reason for this, why we haven't taken a signal here, is because price hasn't broken structure above yet. We're basically waiting for price to break above, this structure right here to take another long position from there. But, basic people who trade like basic price action, this is why a lot of people get it wrong, because the thing is they wait for a rejection followed by, a bullish signal. It's like a very basic pattern. Like even right here, you see the rejection off, it's followed by a bearish signal. It still works. It doesn't necessarily work all the time, but it's something that a lot of, basic price action traders use. You see the rejection off it, rejection off the bearish candle from a bearish move, followed by a bullish candle following it, and then it pushes up directly. So it does work. It's just it doesn't work every single time. But what I was trying to explain here was that it shouldn't be going down because of the stimulus, right? We're analyzing fundamentals in conjunction with the direction of momentum. So it's going down, but majority of people are buying, but it's still coming down. So obviously it's being manipulated right now. So that's why I was analyzing it from a perspective that it's probably going to come down to a certain point where a lot of traders who don't know what they're doing will just enter a trade right here. They'll enter a buy position. Everyone puts their stop loss below structure where they get stopped out, but eventually it's going to either reject off this point and shoot up, or reject off this point and shoot up as well. So that was just a quick, analysis for that. But let me go back to US 30. So basically this is the US 30 strategy, guys. Let me check if there's an entry there. No entry. So this is the US 30 strategy. We basically look for trades after the New York Stock Exchange open, which is 6:30 a.m. Then we identify the first valid K2 signal. A valid signal is going to be a buy signal, like a green signal with a green bullish candle. A valid sell signal would be a red bearish signal with a red bearish candle within it. So basically, if it's red and red, that's valid. If it's green and green, that's valid as well. So first and foremost, we're going to look for entries after the New York Stock Exchange open, which would be right there, right? So right here is 6:30. We can mark a, the next candle right here. That's 6:30 right there. Once 6:30 hits and the market opens, then we look for the first valid signal, because what we're doing is we're trying to catch the swing of momentum. So right here, the market is open, momentum is swung down, and now we're trying to catch the swing in the opposite direction. So right here, we're waiting for a buy signal because the previous signal was a sell, in order for us to take an entry right here. So right here, you can see price is continuing to drop, right? So in this situation over here, a lot of people would not take a buy, right? Because it's clearly going down. So right here, price is, clearly coming down. People are not going to really want to take a buy off this. However, we're going to take the buy because we know the direction of momentum. So first requirement's met. We look for trades after 6:30 a.m., which is the New York Stock Exchange open. And then the second requirement right here, we're going to identify the first valid K2 signal. Right here, we have a valid buy signal since it's a buy signal with a green bullish candle within it. So first two requirements are met. Next, you'll enter on the open of the following candle, which would be right here. Take a long position. And then stop loss and TP is going to be 1,500 pips. We let that run. And there you go, full TP. And that's pretty much all we're doing right now. So right here, market's opened. We're waiting for that buy signal so we can take that buy and then ride the position upwards. Same thing, same thing. And then if we let it run to the next day, let's see. The next day would be right over here, 6:30 a.m. So as soon as you reach 6:30 a.m., we can look for the next valid signal. And then here we go. We have price going upwards. And then we're just waiting for that sell signal, right? No signal. We got the sell signal right there. So at that point, first requirement's met. We look for entries after 6:30 a.m. Second requirement, we identify the first valid K2 signal, which should be right here. And number three, we enter on the open of the following candle. Right here, we enter a short position. 1,500 pips. We do the same thing, let it run. And there you go, full TP. So basically what we're doing right here is we're trying to catch the momentum swings. Generally during the New York session, the market swings in two directions. So right here on the open, it swung down. We caught the correction right here as it swung upwards, right? Same situation right here. Price initially opened bullish because this bullish move was continuing up until market open. And then it corrected back downwards right here where we caught the trade and wrote it down to full TP. And that's basically all we're doing, guys. It's very, very simple. A lot of people want to overcomplicate trading. In reality, it's not that difficult. And this is the only strategy that I use to pass my FTMO. I have two funded FTMOs, have one extra one that's on the way, another 100K that's on the way right now. And this is all that I apply. I apply one strategy a day. I use a calculated risk. And it works out perfectly, not just for me, but for the rest of the K2 members. Again, right here, 6:30 a.m., right? Looking for the first valid signal, which would have been right there. So requirement one, requirement two, valid signal, enter a long position right there. TP stop loss is about 150 or 1,500 pips. And then you let it run and it goes to full TP again right there. So you guys can see how easy it is. It pretty much does the same thing every single day. It either has two waves of momentum where it swings up, then it corrects, or in some situations like this right here, if the signal comes very early, then it just continues in that direction. So it's not that difficult. A lot of people like to overcomplicate it. They like to have all these different patterns and price action and stuff like that. Reality, you can literally just catch momentum. What we're doing is we're trying to catch the moves that the big banks are making. So we just wait and we anticipate the moves made by the banks. And then as soon as those moves are made, we just pretty much catch the move with them. So again, right here, 6:30, right? If you're trading this like a normal price action trader, you wouldn't take a sell here, right? Because this isn't a clear uptrend. So it's like, why would someone take a sell if it's in an uptrend? However, for us, we don't fall for these little tricks because we're not trading like everyone else. We're trading directly off momentum. So right here, we're looking for a sell signal. We get a sell signal right here, right? Who would take a sell right here? Probably not majority of people, right? Because if they see a sell signal right here, they just see that as a retracement. They think it's going to correct back up, right? Because the trend up is so strong. For us, we don't fall for those little, those little nuances that a lot of other people fall for. We end up taking a short position right here, 1,500 pips. We let it run. And what do you know, full TP. See? And that's pretty much what we're applying right here, guys. That's exactly what we're waiting for right here. We do have a pending buy signal. So if this closes right here, we'll take the trade. If not, we're going to hold off a little bit longer, but we have about 7 minutes left on the candle. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, thanks for asking that question, Razul, because I know there's a lot of new people here, and unfortunately, we forget that there's new people joining K2 every day. So hopefully that shows exactly what we're doing here. It's very simple, and we literally just apply the same thing every single day. It's not that difficult. Super simple. But okay, so let me see if there's any other questions in the chat real quick before we move forward. I'm also going to be waiting for this to close. We got about 7 minutes. So once that closes, we'll take this trade. Otherwise, I will look for any other entries over here. Okay, so Omali wants me to take a look at your USD. Black Jerry wants me to look at UK 100. Hey, what's up, Ed? How's it going? Varun said, what would be for UK 100? So Varun, you'd have to talk to like the London guys. You'll talk to like Mark, Jazz, Alec, or Spencer. Their strategy is very similar to what we're applying here, but they have a small variation because obviously the UK 100 moves a little different. The way that they like for us, we take the first trade after market open. They take the trade that's actually on market open because it moves different during London session. So it's a small variation to the strategy that I created here that caters to UK 100 specifically. So I personally can't really say exactly what their strategy is because they keep, it gets changed because it's still a brand new strategy. There's still adjustments being made and there's still improvements that are being made as well. So you should probably reach out to Mark, Jazz, Spencer, or Alkin, and they can probably help you like more in detail because I know they changed it this morning as well. I think we changed up the TP and stop loss for that specific trade. So if you want to go check that out, go ahead and ask them. But until we like finalize that strategy, there's no specific way that we're trading it necessarily. So right here we have it might be an invalid buy. So if we get an invalid buy here, then we'll be taking a sell because we wouldn't be taking this since it's not a valid signal. So we'll see how this plays out. We have about 4 minutes left, quite a bit of some time before we decide to take a trade or not. So let me just go back and check to see if there's any other questions here before we continue. Eric mentioned said the market whispered, "You can't withstand the storm." Trader replied, "I am the storm." Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I just meant with like gold here, guys. Like with gold, they're probably going to keep pushing it down because they're trying to stop everyone out. They want to stop everyone out first, probably drop it to here. And then when you least expect it, it's going to skyrocket back up. Because the problem is sentiment is like so clear here, right? 80% of people are long right now. Everyone's anticipating it's just growing. Look, there's more people entering long positions, but price continues to drop. So that's why I wouldn't trade gold right now. I'd wait for the sentiment to probably balance out because what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop these people out that are long, right? They want to stop these people out. They want to trick people into thinking that it's actually coming down. So once the sentiment starts to lessen and it goes down to maybe like 70 or 60% and people start shifting to sell positions, then they'll spike price up. But until then, it might not even spike up until maybe later this week, if not next week, because it looks like it still has some way to go. Or what might happen is it might have a spike down like this right here. See this huge spike? This crazy wick right here was like nearly 300 pips. So they might spike price really quickly, retest this structure, and then shoot it right back up. Because, odds are people's stop loss for gold is not going to be like 300 pips, right? Their stop loss is going to be pretty tight. So as soon as they stop everyone out, that's when they make their money and then they end up shooting price the other direction. So don't fall for this manipulation, guys. If you're able to put a big stop loss, then go ahead and you can enter if you really want to. But I'm not going to recommend that you enter the any gold buys just yet, or at least until you have like a better confirmation. If it closes above here, then possibly might be a decent buy because then you could ride it to this structure. However, If it keeps pushing down, it's probably going to keep pushing down a bit further, if not a spike of price to happen to stop everyone out. All right, looks like we're getting an invalid sell right here, guys. So we got about 2 minutes left on this. Let me see if there's any other questions. Varun, just a message in the premium group. They're all in there. They're the ones that post a signal in during that time period. Let me see. James is asking you enter on 650. No, James, we enter at 630. So the requirements are right here. The New York Stock Exchange opens at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. So this would be the entry time for the US 30 strategy. The UK 100 strategy is different. Instead of entering it, on the New York Stock Exchange Open, they enter on the London Open, which should be midnight. But yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding the UK 100 strategy, just go ahead and message in the premium to get in touch with the London guys that are actually trading it. Because I personally don't trade it, so I'm not sure exactly how that strategy is developing. I didn't create that strategy either. It's just a spinoff of my US 30 strategy. So yeah, if you guys want more questions on that, or if you guys have more questions on that, just ask in the group in the premium, and they should be able to assist you further. So before I look for new trade, or before I analyze those other trades that you guys are asking for, I'm going to wait for this to close. We have about a minute left. It might close with a strong bullish candle, and then we could probably enter it. However, it might close with an invalid signal, and then we'll be waiting for the opposite entry. Let's see. All right, Merciful wants to take a look at GU as well. So GU is going to be something that's a little manipulated as well, because it's a directly correlated asset to what's going on in the UK and also what's going on with the stimulus. So we've got 30 seconds left on this candle, guys. Doesn't look like it's going to close anytime soon. So we're probably going to skip this candle, wait for the next one. See if there's anything else going over here. Wesley said gold will find that long wick before shooting up. Exactly, Wesley. I definitely see that happening right there as well. This is probably going to spike down again before it shoots up to stop everyone out. Because I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. It happens all the time. What happens is people enter a buy position because they think price is going up. They have their stop loss somewhere around here. They spike it down. As soon as it stops you out, it shoots straight to profit. It happens like all the time. It sucks, but that's generally what usually happens with it. All right, we got another pending US 30 buy signal right here. We'll see how this plays out. Let me keep moving over here real quick, and then I'll continue with the questions. Short Scene's asking, what is the procedure of taking payout from Ftmo after making real profit? So Short Scene, at the end of the month, or not every month, but a month after you started your funded account, you're going to get an email from Ftmo. They're going to tell you, here's how much money you made, here's your split. And then you go on the Ftmo website. Let me see if I could show you guys. I don't want to show you guys my details for this stuff, because let me see if I could pull it up here. Man, I don't know what's up with my computer. It's really slow. Okay. Probably have to restart it or update. It's been a while. But yeah, let me go ahead and pull up Ftmo real quick. I'll see if I can show you without showing, all the details and stuff. All right, so because I don't want you guys to get my freaking my login and stuff for Ftmo, obviously. But anyways, if you log into the Ftmo website, there'll be a panel on the left side. It'll say Ftmo traders. When you click on there, it'll show your payouts. But at the end of every month, there's going to be an opening there, like an option there, and it'll ask you how much money do you want to take out for your split. You'll choose how much you want there. If it's your first time, they'll ask you whether you want to get refunded your challenge, or if you just want a free account. Like for me, I chose a free account because I don't really need the money. It's more so I wanted to build a 300K account. So I already did 2. I'm on my 3rd one. And yeah, basically that's about it. It's really simple. They're going to email you, ask you how much you've made, and then you'll decide whether you want to take all of it out or if you want to take out like partials. Like for me, I took out partial profit because I wanted to leave some cushion because I knew the winter is kind of a slow season. So I don't want to pull out too much profit and, you know, risk losing the account. So right here was my last payout, which was on the 17th. I got my payout right here on the 17th. You can see that the withdrawal right here was for only 382 bucks because this was the new account that I passed and it was my first payout. So instead of taking the full profit, I left some profit in there because obviously my profit was like, you know, 12,000. I only took out about 300 something because I wanted cushion. So if, you know, we have some sort of bad week, we could, you know, hope, not that that'll happen, but if we ever have a bad week, that I can withstand the storm. Basically, you know, I can take a couple losses and I'll be completely fine, and then we can bounce back because eventually it's going to bounce back at some point. So that's pretty much how it works. They send you an email. It'll give you the update with, you know, how much profit you made for the month. And then you have a choice whether to take all of it out, take some of it out, or take nothing out at all and just leave some cushion. So that's pretty much how it works. Very, very simple. Okay, so let me keep going through here real quick. NK is asking, hey, Shawn, how can I book a one-on-one with you if you have availability? So NK, message me on Telegram, and then we can book a one-on-one. Generally, my one-on-one sessions are available between Monday through Friday, between 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The reason it's in the afternoon is because I do these live sessions in the morning, so I can't do it in the morning, but I can do it in the afternoon. So just message me on Telegram. We'll figure out a date that works for both of us, and then we can set that up. Let's see, Amara said, please see GJ. Okay, so we have another question right here. More for JPY. So we have a couple questions here. I'm going to go analyze that in a few. I'm going to wait for this to see if this closes again. We have 5 minutes left on this candle. So this is obviously going to be our main priority right here. You know, I don't want to miss this trade. So I'm going to wait for this to possibly close. And then we have a couple questions here. We have O'Malley that wants us to look at EU. Black Jerry wants us to take a look at UK 100. Mercibal wants to take a look at GU. And Amar wants us to take a look at GJ. So we have about 4 pairs to look at. I'm going to do that shortly once we get some movement on here so that we can possibly, you know, take this trade, or if we're going to wait for the next signal. And keep going down the questions here. Varun said, I can't find my K2 indicators. I think you haven't validated. Let me see. Let me check, Varun. Yeah, because I think you were, because you created a new username yesterday. Yeah, let me update it real quick. Let me see if I could find your username now. Varun, let me go over here to the chat real quick. Yeah, because I remember you changed your username like very late. So let me see if it works now. Oh, there we go. All right, Varun. So I just updated your account information. So you have access to the K2 indicators now. Just log out of your trading view and then log back in. And then as soon as you do that, you can find the K2 indicators under indicators and invite only scripts. So I'll show you right now how to do that. All right, just updated your access, Varun, so you're good. In order to find that, you're just going to have to, sorry, let me just pull this up real quick. This is a different Varun. There we go. Okay, let me just update this real quick. I have Ftmo's emailing me again. Let's see what they want. Nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so maybe we'll get the interview done by the end of the year. But anyways, let me go back to the chat over here real quick. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna look at GJ for MR soon. Jason said, so you max Okay, sorry. So your max daily loss is covered when you leave cushion. Yeah, exactly, Jason. So if you have a 100K account, you can only drop down to 90K, right? Once you go below 90K, you lose the account. But if you leave money in the account, you can go, obviously if you have 110K, then you can lose that. And then you'll have like another extra 10K cushion. So that's how you leave a cushion for, the next following months. You don't have to take all the money out. And honestly, it's better for you to leave a cushion because you never really know how the market's going to move, a week from now, a month from now, et cetera, et cetera. So you can do that just to save some space in case like the market goes crazy for like 1 month or so, which might happen. We're during COVID, guys. Like COVID is a new year, so not everyone understands how the market's going to move or how it's going to continue to move, because with all of these updates, it's just going to spike price, up and down. Sure, no problem, MK. But yeah, Vern, you now have access to it. When you have your chart open, just log out of your trading view, log back in, click on indicators right here, go to invite only scripts, and then you'll see all of the K2 indicators right here. Wow, it looks like volatility is starting to pick up for a US 30. It hasn't really been moving much the entire day. Let's see. So it looks like we have about a minute left on this candle. If this closes with a false buy, then we're going to be taking a sell signal instead. So we'll see how this plays out. We got about a minute left. And then hopefully we can move forward with this entry. I know you guys get a little impatient when we're waiting for US 30. It's really a game of patience, guys. This game, like trading, is all mental. Like if you have a strategy that works and you just follow it to the T, like how we do, we follow the same strategy every single day. If you follow it to the T, then you should be perfectly fine with regard to not getting caught in these fake outs. So we got 50 seconds left on this candle. Just waiting to see if it closes with an invalid buy so that we can take a sell, or if we are going to be waiting for something else. So we're waiting for this right here. Nice, perfect, Arun. Glad to hear. Let me keep going over here real quick. Let me see if there's anything else here. Lulzim is asking, in order to become an Ftmo member, is funding required by me? You just have to pay the challenge fee, Lulzim. There's no funding that needs to be made by you. You just have to pay the challenge fee. So depending on what you want to sorry, I'm watching this real quick. Okay, so no signal there. Let me just show you guys real quick. Let me go to Ftmo. So I'm gonna try to go back to the website. I'm gonna get back to the website. Okay, here we go, back to website. So when you go to the website, ftmo.com, right here, and I'll post the link over here in the chat as well for you guys that are looking into it. Just keep in mind, guys, that Ftmo is not for everyone. So here's the link right there on the in the chat. And if you guys use the that affiliate link, that's just going to help with K2, because then we'll have documentation who from K2 is joining. I did get an email from the Ftmo CEO recently, so I might be doing something. I need to read the email. I think they wanted to interview or something like that, because of the we have a lot of K2 members that keep passing. So basically right here, you're just going to pay the the fee, Lulzim. So basically, if you're doing a 10K, you'll pay 155 euros. Doing 25K, 250 euros. 100K, which is what I've been doing with my 2 accounts, you'll pay 540 euros. So you'll pass this challenge here. You pass verification. Once you're funded, if you have like even $1 in profit, they're going to refund you this. So you're basically doing it risk-free in reality, as long as you do it properly. Obviously, if you fail, you're not going to get a refund. But if you pass, you'll get a refund, plus you'll get a payout. And if you're trading with K2, you shouldn't have any problems passing. We had another member here who passed. Let me see. I think today, right? Let me see the results over here. So we had James right here pass Ftmo. So all pass, see, 100% pass. He's just taking the US 30 trades. And then he wasn't the only one. We had a bunch of other people here pass last week too. Like check this out right here. Sam K. he's already passed. He's hit the profit target. He just needs to pass the minimum days, where we just take penny trades to pass those days, right? Victor right here, he passed Ftmo. So we had like 5 to 10 people pass Ftmo last week from K2. So that's probably why, the Ftmo CEO is like reaching out to me to possibly, spread awareness, because we're all passing Ftmo. Everyone's making a ton of profits trading Ftmo. ARK's back in profit. Congrats to ARK. I don't know if you're in here, ARK, but ARK had a rough trip after getting funded, but he's made it right back into profit. So congrats to ARK. You stuck on plan, and you made it out of that hole. So great work on that, bro. Let me go back to charts real quick. I'm just gonna keep pulling back into this US 30 because I'm still waiting for this entry over here. But let me keep going through these questions real quick. Short Scene said, thanks for discussing Ftmo procedure. Yeah, no problem, Short Scene. Billy said, today will be my first day with my first Ftmo challenge. Nice. More than grateful for your US 30 strategy. Definitely, Billy. This should be perfectly fine because this is all I take on my own account. So you should be perfectly all right on there as well. Peter said, for all the new people here, there's nothing better than K2. The signals and indicators are high quality. Thanks, Peter. Definitely. No, everyone here is passing, so it's definitely been a plus for that. Short Scene said, what's the issue of news trading with Ftmo? I think you just can't trade within the first 5 minutes. First and second 5 minutes, it's not necessarily like there's not really an issue with that, Short Scene, because we don't trade news anyways. If you're trading news, you're just gambling. So that's why they don't want you to trade news, because you can easily blow that account within like a few seconds if you trade news, right? It's not a sustainable way of trading. So that's why they don't allow you to trade when news is about to happen. But if you trade way before or way after, you're completely fine. Billy said, can you go over the verification process? As I know you've passed it before, use smaller lots. Remain the same, Billy. We don't change it at all, because if you change it, it's just going to take a longer process for you to pass. So for US 30, if we're trading a 15 lot like I normally do, which is 1.5 times 1500, I make about 2,250 profit per trade, right? Your profit goal is 10,000. You divide that by 2,250. You only have to win 4.5 trades, right, to make 10,000. Vice versa, if you're doing the verification and you need to make 5,000, you just divide that by the same thing, 2,250. You only have to win 2.5 trades. So that's why some people here pass Ftmo way before the deadline, because it only takes 4 US 30 trades with K2 to pass. And then for verification, you only need 2 trades to win in order to pass. So we don't change the lot size, we just keep it the same. And that's why you can see like right here with, so James, he had the full days, but like right here with, let me try to see who was passed but didn't have enough days. Like right here, so Sam, he passed, he got his 10,000 within 5 days because it only takes 4 trades to pass, right? So he took a trade once a day, passed Ftmo, and he passed it way faster than the minimum trading days. So at that point, he just carries it on and slowly just counts the days as it goes along, and then he passes eventually once you get 10 days. So we don't change the risk at all. We keep it the same. Yeah, definitely. Congrats to ARK. I think ARK showed his profits here too. Like ARK, he was in the hole. He was close to losing his funded account, and he's been hitting profits time and time after again. So he said, I'm finally out of the hole I was in. See, he's back at 100K. He was like at near, like, I think 92,000. So he was close to losing his account. But thankfully, congrats to ARK. He had faith in K2 and he came right back. He's back to 100K. He just needs to make one withdrawal, and then he'll get his payout for his challenge back. No problem, Billy. Short Scene. Oh, nice, Hassan. Hassan said, I passed my challenge, currently halfway down verification. Very nice, Hassan. So you probably just need like 1 trade to win, right? And you'll be done. Short Scene said, I don't trade news, but a person told me that he took a trade as per his analysis and forgot the news release, and due to this, his account was gone. Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible if you don't follow the rules, obviously, because they don't want irresponsible traders. They want traders that actually know how to trade and traders that are responsible. If you're not following their rules, then they can easily just take the account away, because you just risk losing their 100K, with that stupid trade that you would want them to take during news. So you have to be very careful not to trade news. And it's not that difficult, guys. Like if you look at the news events here, you're not going to trade exactly when news is happening. You literally have to be waiting for the news, because news happens at these times. And if there's news at 12:15 and you're taking trades on London Open, that's 15 minutes before, so you'll be perfectly fine. But if you're taking a trade exactly at that time, you should always be aware of news. That was probably your friend's mistake for not paying attention. You should always know what's going on with the news and know not to trade during those times. It's just common sense with trading, So I think there's probably more to the story with like what your friend was doing. Your friend was probably trying to trade the news. That's probably what happened. Because it's really hard for you to miss the news if you're actually looking at them. Okay, let me go ahead and take a look at US 30 again. No entry there. It's just going to go sideways, guys. So we're going to keep waiting for this before we actually continue on. Yeah, Hassan said, I thought trading during news wouldn't go through. Didn't know they would just take your account. Yeah, because if you're trading like news, you're just gambling at that point. So that's why they don't want people to trade their funded accounts if you're gambling. They want people that actually know how to trade. So that's probably what happens. I wouldn't know because I don't trade news, and I wouldn't even risk doing that. All right, so let me go ahead and take a look at all the pairs you guys want me to analyze real quick before we before we continue down this rabbit hole of like Ftmo, because you guys are just going to keep asking questions and I'm not going to be able to get through these analysis that people want. And also another reminder, thanks for reminding me, guys. If you guys haven't already, please like the stream. I do this completely free for you guys. So in order for me to continue to hold this for free and, continue to show you guys these trades every morning, it definitely would help if you guys could just like the stream so that we can help with the YouTube algorithm and we can find more people. Because the thing is, if this channel doesn't grow, I'm just going to be having this for the premium members. So I know not everyone here is in premium. So if you guys still want this to continue on, just like the stream and do me a favor with that, because we want to keep growing the channel. The more people that are here, the more people I can help. And if there's not enough people here, I might as well just help the people in the premium, right? Because everyone's pretty much profiting off my trades, and I'm doing this completely free for you guys. So if you guys haven't already, just like the stream to help out, the channel. And then I'll continue doing this for you guys every single morning. So let me go ahead and pull up the first question over here. We have O'Malley wants your USD. And looking at your USD right here. So I've already drawn these zones on the chart. Let me make sure the zones are still good. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna analyze this from scratch. Let me just check the US 30 real quick, make sure there's no signal. Have about a few seconds left. All right, nothing there, we're good. So let me go back to your USD right here. I'm gonna go ahead and hide everything off the chart, delete my zones. Here's a naked chart, guys. So this is basically what a chart looks like normally, right? I'm gonna go ahead and analyze this from scratch. Here's your USD. I'm gonna turn on the K2SRs. And sorry if I'm going a little fast, guys. I just don't wanna miss anything with US 30. So I'm just gonna scan through this really quick. And you guys will see how easy it is to, analyze these pairs if you guys have the K2 indicators, because it pretty much takes out all the guesswork. You just pretty much follow what is taught by either me in the mentorship or me in the course. It's very, very simple. I do the same thing every single day, guys. And obviously you guys can see that it's been very, very profitable for all of us, not just me, but for the whole team. So here are the zones for your USD. There we go. Once we have those zones drawn out, I'm gonna hide the indicator and then I'm gonna zoom out. So you can see from right here, we have these nicely drawn zones, and then we're able to identify these points of rejection, right? Price comes up, rejects off this point, comes down, consolidates a bit, breaks out above, and then consolidates within this zone now. So once we have this lined up, I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. Right here, we have a pending sell signal, right? Looks like there's some news this morning, existing home sales. All right, perfect. So right here, we have a pending sell signal. If this sell signal closes within the structure right here, then we can take a short position and ride this down to this next structure right here for a gain of 70 pips, right? If you guys are familiar with the K2SR strategy, this is very, very, very simple. This is the only strategy I use for the K2 signals. Basically right here, if price closes below the structure, we could anticipate this to push down to test this structure right here. Once it gets to that point, it can either break below further and continue dropping, or it can reject up and correct back upwards. But at that point, we would have already hit our full TP right here, and we'll be perfectly fine with this trade for a gain of 70 pips. An example for this entry right here would be right here, right? Price breaks the structure right here. We have a buy signal. We would enter a long position up to the next zone over here, right? Stop loss be kind of wider, but then we'd basically ride this to the next structure over here. Basically what happens is when price breaks structure right here, we have the momentum pointing this direction. Odds are it's going to push the next structure before either breaking through it and continuing up or rejecting back down, right? That's exactly what happened here. So same situation over here with this sell. If this closes below this structure, it's probably going to come down and test this structure before either breaking below or rejecting back up. Another example for that right here would be right here. It's the same thing. It pretty much just repeats itself. We have a buy signal right here, breaks the structure right here. So we have confirmation of a buy signal right there, right? Pretty much what happens here is it goes and tests the structure, bounces off, and then repeats itself again. We have a buy signal right there, breaks the structure, and then it tests right there. So just looking at the charts here, it gives you a clear picture when you have these zones lined up that price generally, moves along with structure. So like same situation here, price comes down, rejects off the structure, comes up, and it pretty much just bounces from structure to structure. So if you have the K2 indicators, you're able to just ride this as price goes and retest these structures. Price comes back down, rejects off this point, tests this structure, breaks the structure right there, tests the next structure, breaks structure right there, and it pretty much just goes up and up and up, right? So it's super simple. Obviously, if you guys have the indicators, it'll give you that upper hand. But looking at EU right here, this is pretty much what I see happening. Until this closes, we have about an hour or 2 hours left in this candle. If this closes below the structure, then I would anticipate it to push down to here, where we can probably reach a full TP before it either corrects back up, which is probably going to happen, or breaks below and continues further. If it breaks below here, we could take another sell and then pretty much ride it down to the next structure down here. And then once it reaches this point, it can either reject off it or break below. The main key here is just that you guys need to be able to analyze it from both perspectives, right? If you're taking a sell here, that's not going to be the only way to analyze it. You have to analyze it for where it's going to reject and come back up, or if it's going to break below. Because obviously there's always going to be two scenarios whenever you take a trade. If there's more than two scenarios, then it becomes risky, because like I mentioned right here, price can either come down, reject off this point, or it can come below. So that's why we have our TP right here before the next structure. That way we can get out of the trade before it ends up either reversing on us, or if it breaks below, we can enter another position right there. So that's a quick analysis for EU. But like I mentioned, price would have to close below this structure in order for us to identify an entry. Because you can see right here, price didn't close below it, right? And then what happened from there? Rejected off it, and it shot right up. So that's something that we don't want to get caught in. That's why we're only going to enter it if it closes below here. Because if it doesn't close below here like it did right here, it can easily reject off this point, way back up again, before making a second attempt or a third attempt, I guess, to break the structure at a later time. So the key with trading, guys, is just to always analyze your trade for multiple perspectives. Don't always be super biased for a sell here and only anticipate this to come down, right? You have to anticipate this from other angles. You have to anticipate it. What's the worst case scenario? You enter this trade right here, it reverses on you, right? You enter this trade right here, it reverses on you down here, or even down here. You just have to think ahead. It's like playing chess, guys. You guys have to be like 2 steps ahead of the game, and you guys have to make sure not to trade how everyone else is trading, because obviously if you're trading like everyone else, odds are you're probably not going to do very well at trading, because majority of people fail at trading, right? I think like about 90 to 95% of people fail at trading because they're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. And obviously the banks know what they're doing, and the institutions, and they're going to do the complete opposite of what they're doing, stopping them out every single time. So just keep that in mind, guys. Make sure to do a full analysis of every entry, not just one direction every single time. But yeah, I mean, that's it for EU right there. Hopefully that helps, Mali. I'll see what is next. So next on the line is Black to Jerry with UK 100. Let me go ahead and take a look at this real quick. See if anything else here is. Varun said, how much can I earn using 10K, just an estimate? I mean, it really depends on you, Varun. I'm not sure what you're trading. Are you only trading your US 30? Are you trading Forex? I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities depending on what you're trading. So if you could be more specific with your question or, with your response, then we can do a calculation of it. It's easy to calculate it if you know what you're trading. But if you're trading a bunch of different assets, everything's worth something different. So there's no real guarantee of what you can make. But I personally don't recommend trading anything below a 50K. It's just not worth your time or effort because you can make more money profiting, from your own account rather than doing Ftmo with something so small. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people don't realize that. They think that, they're like, oh, I got, they're like, oh, I got a $10,000 account. They think it's a lot of money, right? Reality, it's not, because you're not making profit for like 20 days up to maybe 90 days. If you do this really slow, then you're going to pass in like 90 days. If you do it really quick, you can pass in 20 days, but you're only going to make so much profit. Your profit target's $1,000 within a month, right? What do you think your profit target's going to be normally? It's probably going to be around that area. So if you just traded your own personal account, you'd make way more money than trading something small like a $10,000 account. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people don't realize that, just because you have a big balance, you still have to use proper risk. You're not going to be able to double this right away. If you're using a $100,000 account, then yeah, you can make that much money because you're probably going to be making 10% per month. 10% is going to be good on a good month. So in reality, anything below a 50K, I don't think it's worth your time. Unless you're just practicing. If you're practicing, then yeah, go take these. But if you start to become good at trading and you're actually profitable, then obviously you're going to make way more money on a higher account. So it just doesn't really, nice. Yeah, Varun said, I'm just testing with the 10K. So Varun, you should probably just do the trial. If you're just testing, then just do a trial, because the thing is, if you do a 10K, you're just wasting your time, bro. You're going to be trading for like 90 days, make no money. And then by that point, you could have just been on the 100K already and making a lot more money, because it's another process. If you want another account, you have to do the whole process over again. So it's not really, I mean, if you think it's fine, then we're obviously on different levels of trading. For me, I'm very confident with my trading. I don't have to go for a smaller account. I can go straight to 100K. But if you're not there yet, then yeah, maybe start with the 10K. You can also merge these at a later time. So that's going to be kind of a waste as well, because you wasted 60 days to 60 to 90 days to get this 10K account, right? If you merge it with the 100K, you'll make that 10K with like 1 week. So that's what I mean about it kind of being a waste of time. But it's really up to you if you want to do it. I would just do the trial if that's the case. If you're just trying to practice, then do the trial, because you still have money on the line. You still have 155 euros. If you lose this account, this money goes to waste. So I would just do the free trial first and then move on to the 100K. Or if you wanted to start with this, you can merge it with the 100K at some point later, or even the 50K. So just keep that in mind. It's okay, so Varun said, I've only been trading for 8 months. So yeah, I mean, you'd have to come to the realization whether you're ready for it or not. If you're ready for it, then do it. If not, then maybe just do a free trial, or just practice on your own account. Because the thing is, if you're not profitable trading on your own account, you're not going to be profitable on Ftmo. The requirements are too strict here. You're going to hit the max daily loss if your risk management is on point. And I'm just looking out for you, because I don't want you to lose, your deposit fee. 155 euros is not something to throw away. It's still money. So just keep that in mind, and just be careful. Don't get greedy. I know there's a lot of people here that think they're like a pro trader once they start trading with K2, but keep in mind, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I still make mistakes, guys. I'm not 100% all the time. So don't get overly excited with Ftmo just because you're trading with K2, because risk management is still going to it's still going to be important, whether you're taking my trades, whether you're taking your own trades. So just keep that in mind, and be careful. So let me keep going over here real quick and see if I missed anything else. Let's see, we got a bunch of questions over here again. John said it doesn't look like US 30, UK 100 is prohibited by news audit items. Yeah, John, I don't think so either because they're not directly affected with the with those specific news events. I guess the only difference would probably be if there's something very specific to the stock market, but I haven't really seen that very much. But yeah, Varun. So basically, you're asking how much could you make with 10K? A clear like a little generalization would be 10%, right? 10% of 10K is going to be 1,000. So this is probably going to be an average profit goal for your 10K account. So that's probably what you can make on there, and then vice versa, for these as well. Because the thing is, you have 30 days to make this $1,000, right? It might not seem like it's very difficult, but once you actually do it, you'll see how difficult it is because a lot of people aren't familiar with trading, an account size that large, 10K. Even when you go up to the 100K, this is going to be even a bigger challenge because the numbers just get bigger. So just keep that in mind. Let me go ahead and look at US 30. So we have a pending buy right here. Hopefully that closes, then we can take that trade. Otherwise, I'm going to continue on with these questions. Thanks, Dennis. Dennis mentioned smash that like button. So just another reminder, guys, because I see that we have more people that join the room. If you guys haven't already, just do us a favor and like the video. That way I can continue to give these daily trading rooms for free. Because like I mentioned, I do this completely free. I don't charge you guys to, sit in on my trading sessions or even my mentoring sessions. But if this channel doesn't grow, I'm just going to have to keep this limited to the premium member. So I want to keep doing this for free for you guys. And in order for me to continue to do that, we just need to keep this channel going. So if you guys could like the video and subscribe, that would definitely help the YouTube algorithm in order for us to reach more people. So thanks for doing that, guys. Let me continue on with these questions. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. If I miss any of your guys' questions, just remind me, put it again in the chat, because the chat is getting a bit flooded right now. So let me check out gold real quick. Amar said gold just tanked. Oh, guys, like it's playing out exactly like I mentioned, right? This is exactly what I said earlier. I said it's crazy because look at all these people right here. There's like 81% of people in the market that are long gold. Is that like freaking crazy? Because look at gold right now. It's dumping, guys. It just dropped how many pips off this candle? It dropped like 200 pips. So look at all these people right here with a long position. They're all getting stopped out. They're getting crushed right now. So don't trade where everybody's trading, guys. If everyone's trading long, don't hop in on that long because you're going to get screwed. Like, check this out. I'm sure a lot of people are losing a ton of money off gold right now. It's messed up because we're laughing about it, but it's also not messed up because I told you guys not to enter the buy yet. It's probably going to come out, stop everyone out, and then shoot up from here. So don't enter gold right now, guys. If you guys are really thinking about buying gold, don't do it because all of these people right here are getting crushed right now. Like I know you guys, like for you guys that trade gold, your stop loss isn't going to be, let's see, from up here. Okay, so from last night all the way up until now, it's dropped like 500 pips. I know you guys don't have like a 500 pip stop loss on your gold. So if your stop loss is too tight, you're getting crushed right now, literally. Because I know people are probably getting kicked out and they're trying to re-enter a buy because they're like, oh, the market's getting manipulated. Let me re-enter. They enter another buy, they get stopped out a second or third time. And then at that point, their account's blown, right? So keep that in mind, guys. I'm shocked to see this many people that are long on gold and it just keeps dumping. Yeah, hopefully you guys aren't in this buy right now for gold with the rest of the people. This is why we're being careful with trading right now because the market is just crazy, guys. After the stimulus got released, everyone thought it was going to go up. Did the complete opposite. Let me see IG sentiment. I'm gonna check the IG sentiment for US 30 real quick, just to confirm that we're not trading in the wrong direction, or not necessarily the wrong direction, but okay, perfect. So this is perfect for us. Look, 66% of people are short for US 30. So odds are it's probably gonna do the opposite. It's probably gonna go up long because more people are short. So that's why we want to take this long position so we don't end up with everyone else. So let me continue to check over here real quick. We have this pending buy right here, guys. So once this closes right here, we'll probably take this buy and then I'll continue on with the questions. You know, our main focus right now is US 30. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to go back in between the questions, because we want to make sure that we enter this trade, we don't miss it before we continue on with, you know, other questions, because there's been times where we accidentally miss these trades because of that specific reason. So waiting for this to close right here. Is about 2 minutes left on the candle. I'm going to keep going down the questions right here before I push on further. Okay, so let me see what else we got over here. We've got Billy said, it's been tested. I've been testing. Oh, just buy the 100K and take his US 30 on a 15 lot whenever he takes it. Nice. Yeah, no, definitely. That's exactly what I do and what a lot of other people do here too. Short Scene's asking, with 10K account following K2 trades, how much time would it take to complete FTMO? Yeah, nice. So John passed it within 4 days. You can do it within 4 or 5 days if they're all wins, obviously, because you only need 4.5 wins to pass. So if you do that properly, then you can easily pass FTMO. So let's see what else we got over here. Vernon said, Shawn, I'm a bit confused about drawing zones. There are many lines on the US 30 with the V2 indicator. So if the lines end up overlapping, Vernon, then you just connect the zones together, obviously, because you're not going to trade within those low zoned areas. And the zones aren't necessary for US 30, Vernon. So if you're not familiar with drawing the zones, do it on a higher time frame, because you're going to be getting like confused when there's a lot of zones on the chart. So I'll try to draw them up for you real quick after this this candle closes, bro. And we've got about a minute left on this candle. Okay, guys, before I miss this, I'm gonna get my MC4 up. We got about a countdown, 50 seconds, guys. I'm gonna be taking this live on my own account. So I've got this set up right here. US 30 buy signal, 15 lots. So we got about 30 seconds, guys. If this ends up closing, we're going to take it. Let me get this real quick. US 30 buy. All right. So I'm not going to put an order type here because a lot of people get, and we've had like so many people complain about the order type. So I'm not even going to put a buy limit or buy stop anymore. I'm just going to say buy, because I'm going to be entering this at the close of the candle. All right, cool. So we have 10 seconds left, guys. If this closes, I'm going to enter manually on my phone. We got 5 seconds, guys. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm in the trade, guys. So I'm currently in US 30. If you guys want to enter, feel free. I'm going to post this in the premium. So let me just get this real quick. I'm currently in the trade. So if you guys want to enter with me, feel free. I'm going to go ahead and post this up over here for our premium members. If you guys are in premium, you guys will have the parameters. If you guys aren't, go ahead and sign up to premium. It's only $50. You'll make your money back with one trade. So there we go right there. You get the buy entry. Give you guys my FTO parameters right now. Okay. My entry was 30050. Damn, the pricing for Ftmo is like way off, huh? It's like way down here. I wonder what happened with that. Like it was like that one day last week, and then it just ended up being huge. All right, guys. So let's go on right there. All right, guys. So I'm in the trade. Let's see. Send that over to there. CC said FTM was adding equities. Nice, nice. So it's a buy stop order right now, guys, because it's below entry. Go ahead and set my alerts over here real quick. Full TP, 100, one. Yeah, so if you guys want to enter, it's right below entry right now. So you guys can probably enter late if you guys really want to. TP1, 750, but I'm already in the trade, so can't make any adjustments for myself. All right, so it looks like we're good there for US 30 now that we've had that handled. We can now go over the other questions. So sorry if you guys had questions earlier and I haven't gotten to them yet. Obviously we're here trying to kick off these trades. So I got my stop loss set 299.00. Take profit's going to be 30125. All right, so everything's set up, good to go. Trades are running. Yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna let that run. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna go ahead and look at other things here now. So let me go ahead and take a look at these other questions. So we have Black Jerry with UK 100, Marissa with GU, Amar with GJ, and then we have Vernon over here with the US 30 K2SR lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these in order, guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and then I can go ahead and take a look at anything you guys want me to. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and go down these questions. We have one question from Black to Jerry. He wants me to analyze UK 100. We have one question from Mersabai. He wants me to analyze GU. Amar wants me to analyze GJ. And Varun wants me to show him the K2SR lines on US 30. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at go ahead and take a look at these questions. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise I'm going to continue on with these questions. So the first question is from Black to Jerry. He wants me to take a look at UK 100. Let me go to UK 100 real quick. So looking at UK 100, this is the trade that you guys took last night at midnight. So basically right here, let me change this to the 10-minute. Yeah, you guys entered this trade right here. You guys took the signal on the open right here. You entered a long position right there. And then obviously it hit full TP, right? So that was a total win. Looking at price currently right now, I personally wouldn't trade the UK 100 right now because, obviously the market swap already happened, or it's going to happen soon. I think it happened at 6 actually. So we moved into the US session. Just a reminder that the UK 100 is not a US asset. It's a London asset. So it should generally be traded during the London session. But just looking at price right now, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the K2SRs. And then I'll just show you this for an example too, Varun. Since you're here, this works the same way with US 30, which it would with UK 100. Basically, when you have these lines on the chart, in order to clean this up, because you can see it's kind of messy, right? It's hard to see. Since it's messy like this, we're just going to draw our own rectangles over these zones. If these zones overlap like they do right here, you can see there's 3 lines, right? And with these 3 lines, they're very close to each other. So if they're very close to each other like that, instead of drawing 2 different zones right there, right? Instead of drawing 2 different zones, you can just connect these 3 into one zone. So I connected those 3. Again, right here, we have 3 lines. We're just going to connect these 3. 2 lines right here, connect these 2. This line right here, connect this one right here. There's only 2 lines. And then right here, there's 4 lines, right? So instead of creating 2 zones, I mean, you can technically create 2 zones, but if you're going to create 2 zones like that, there's not really much space between these 2 zones, right? You're not going to trade in between here. So instead of drawing 2 zones, you can just connect these right here. And then you'll hide the K2SR indicator. And there you go. The zones are perfectly drawn on the chart for you, right? So that's how you would draw the zones for not just UK 100, but the same for US 30 and for any of the Forex pairs as well. So that's about it right there. That's pretty much how you would draw this and line everything up. But looking at UK 100 right here for for Black to Jerry. Basically, if I was to analyze this from this perspective, I would wait for price to, I mean, obviously we have a bullish bias right here. We could even turn on the pivots. It's a very strong bullish bias. So I think this is going to continue up. So if you're applying the pivot strategy right here, there would be a pivot entry right over here. And it looks like it's going to continue pushing up further to hit that full TP. So once price breaks this structure right here and closes, it's probably going to continue up further and hit full TP right there, right? So I think it has a bullish bias. For one, the trend is up, obviously using the pivots right here. In order to identify the trend using the K2 pivots, you just have to make sure price is above the pivots are angling up and they're spread out. The more spread out they are, the stronger the trend upwards. Vice versa, if price is below the pivots are angling down and they're spread out, this is going to indicate a trend downwards, right? So right here, it's trending up. This gives one confirmation that it's going to continue up further. On top of that, it's attempting to break this structure. If it breaks above it, then it's going to likely continue up further. On top of that, we have our last confirmation right here. We have a bullish signal, right? The most recent signal was a bullish signal. So momentum is swinging up. So I think it's going to continue up, probably going to break the structure and then hit full TP for this pivot entry right here. Technically, this pivot entry would have hit full TP already because it would have been somewhere around here. So if that was the case right there, it would have hit full TP already. So we would wait for this to break this structure up here and then maybe take another long position up here, right? So it's really simple. You know, if you guys have access to the K2 indicators, you guys can see how easy it is to analyze these charts, to analyze this within a few seconds, and you guys already have a clear picture of what's to happen next. So it would have hit full TP right here. It would have adjusted up above this point and then hit full TP there again. So, you know, if you guys want mentorship from me, if you guys want to learn exactly how I trade, learn exactly how I did this, so you guys can analyze charts and you guys can know exactly what you're doing instead of, you know, guessing all the time. A lot of people just guess, right? They see these rejections off these points. They think it's going to come in that direction, but they don't know exactly how to analyze it. So if you guys want a mentorship with me, I still have my one-on-one mentorships available. You guys just got to make sure to sign up before the end of the week because there's too many people signing up and I just don't have enough time because there's one of me and there's hundreds of you guys. So I want to give you guys all that one-on-one treatment. But, you know, as K2 continues to grow, I'm just not going to have time to really teach you guys one-on-one. So if you guys want that one-on-one mentorship, just go on the website, k2trades.com right here. Just scroll down to the bottom and the trial is still available right here. $50 for the first month. You get all of the K2 indicators. You get the entire K2 course right here with all of my strategies. And then you also get a one-on-one mentorship with me. So, and those are unlimited sessions. You guys just need to schedule your session with me and then we can set it up. And then we'll basically have a one-on-one where I teach you how to do exactly what I'm doing. So make sure you do that by the end of the week, guys. I'm probably going to take this down by Friday because there's just too many people signing up. I want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to learn from me. So if you guys don't take advantage of this, it's going to be gone by the end of the week, most likely. So let me go ahead and take a look at these other pairs. So hopefully that helps, Black to Jerry. I'm not sure if you caught that because I don't know if you're still in here. I know you were sitting around for a while, but that's pretty much what I see happening for UK 100. If price breaks this structure, then I anticipate it to continue up even further. But if it doesn't break the structure, so there's scenario one. Scenario one is it breaks the structure, closes above, and continues up. That's scenario one, right? Like I mentioned before, you have to analyze this from different scenarios. So right here, if price doesn't break the structure and doesn't close above it, it can easily reject off here and come back down here, where it can either reject back up and correct upwards or break below and reverse on you. So just keep that in mind. There's, you know, there's two main scenarios that can play out here for UK 100. So we'll see how that plays out. You know, otherwise we will sit tight on that. Hopefully you're already in a buy. If you're already in a buy, then you should be perfectly fine, but it can easily reject off this point as well. So don't just, don't enter this trade just because. Make sure that you analyze it and understand, you know, the risk between taking a buy versus taking a sell. So let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, so Short's asking whether he should sign up for euros or for dollars. It's not really going to make a difference because your profit's still going to be the same. when it translates. I think if you're taking the euro though, it's going to be less because you have a smaller account. I think if you're doing the euro, it's where is it? It's like 540, but if you're doing a US dollar, it's a little more because I think they give you 80K. It's not 100K if you're doing euro. It's only 80K. So if we do the conversion for that, let me see if I could euro US dollar conversion. So if we do a euro US dollar conversion, if you have 80,000 euros, you have less than 100K. So you're actually starting off with less money. So I personally would just go with the US dollar. To be honest, it's probably going to be more beneficial for you. But I mean, again, it's really up to you. There's no really right or wrong there. It's only a few. It's maybe like $3,000, $2,000 difference. So it's not a huge difference, but obviously, if you want the full 100K, you'd be better off going with the dollar versus the euro. But okay, so let me keep going down the questions over here. Varun said, yeah, exactly. The dollar is more familiar. So yeah, Varun, just message me on Telegram and then we'll set up a date where we can, it didn't hit stop loss yet, Hassan. It's still active right now. It's pretty far from stop loss. You probably put in the wrong parameters. Make sure you put in the proper ones because you might have put in the wrong ones. Make sure you're using, if you're using Ftmo, make sure you're using the Ftmo ones. If you're using the normal parameters right here, make sure you're using that one. You might have put in the wrong one because it's very far from stop loss. But okay, so let me keep going down the questions over here. But yeah, Varun, if you want to have the one-on-one with me, just message me on Telegram and then we'll set up a date that works for both of us. Like I mentioned, I'm usually available during the week in the afternoon, my time, because I do this live session in the morning. So I can't do it in the morning, but if you can do sometime during the week between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m., we can set that up and then we can get going from there. So go ahead and message me, Varun, and then we'll figure it out and then we'll set up that date. So let me keep moving on to the next pair over here. So let me look at GU for Mersaba. Mersaba wants me to take a look at GU real quick. All right, and I'll do the same thing here. I'll just analyze this from scratch so you can see exactly how I would analyze this if I didn't have anything on the chart. So here's a naked chart right here. Go ahead and go on the 4 hour right here. There's a naked chart, turn the K2SRs, and then I'm going to draw my zones. So it really just depends on where you want to draw the zones, guys. If you want to draw a bunch of multiple zones, you can do that as well. You don't have to connect the zones, but I personally like my charts pretty clean. So I don't like to have like a million zones on the chart, right? Unless they're like very important zones. And in that situation, yeah, obviously I'd have multiple zones, but if I can make it as clean as possible, that's what I'm going to aim for. So I drew my zones there, hide the K2SR indicator. And there we go. We have nicely drawn zones on the chart. So obviously right here, it looks like it's actually going upwards, but we'll turn on the momentum indicator. And right here, it looks like we have a bullish momentum. So right here, we have a bullish momentum. However, it's retracing and pulling back right here. So unless we get a sell signal, then we're still going to be looking for a bullish entry. So right here, what can happen here is probably price can reject off this point and then correct back up, right? This happens all the time. But if we get a sell signal, so say if a sell signal produces right here, right? Say if this candle closes bearish and then it continues to push down further. So say if it continues to push down further, we get a sell signal, then we can take a short position, somewhere over here. However, if price rejects off this point, which looks like that's what's happening here. You see the nice wick right here. Looks like it could be rejecting off this point. Then it can possibly continue up further. And then just it'll probably keep testing these structures as it continues to push further and further upwards. So like I mentioned, this is going to be a very manipulated asset for GU and for the USD because the UK lockdowns are affecting this heavily. That's why it's going down because, they what did it happen? I think they canceled all flights to and from the UK. They're back in full lockdown. So that's why it's coming down this way. However, it's going to be conflicting with the US news with the stimulus because the US dollar is weak as well. So I think what might happen here is this just might go sideways for a bit until there's some sort of new news that is released with regard to, either the pound or the US dollar. So we'll see how this plays out because they're both weak currencies right now. And there really isn't like a specific direction as to, whether it will, continue up or swing down. So I would wait a bit for some sort of extra confirmation before entering something like this because this looks like a huge range. Look how many times it's ranged within here. Whenever it ranges, it goes sideways for a bit. So the last time it ranged within here, it ranged for like a good 9 days before swinging up and then coming back down. So technically it ranged for about 10 or 11 days before spiking back upwards and then pulling back into the range. So it could very well be stuck in this range for some time before it either breaks really far below or really far above. So I'd be careful with GU. I personally wouldn't trade it because I feel like this can spike up at any time. Like say if the new COVID strain out there gets worse in the UK, then it'll just send this plummeting, right? Heavily. And then once the US dollars start to get printed for the stimulus, this can easily, spike up as well. So I personally wouldn't trade GU right now because both of them are being heavily affected with, the current events going on in the world. But yeah, if you were to take this, I would wait for some sort of confirmation in either direction before actually, taking a sell or taking a buy, because it can go either way. So if you're going to take a sell, here we do. We have this pending sell signal right here. If this closes below here, then you can possibly take this ride downwards. Or even if it closes below here, you can take it to the next structure right here, which is not that far off. And then if it breaks this structure right here, you can continue riding it down to here. But then you have to keep in mind that it can reject at any point. So it can reject from here. It can reject from here. It can reject from here. It reject from any of these points. So just keep that in mind if you decide to take a sell. But I would wait for extra confirmation before taking that. And I would see how this, moves from that point, because it just becomes too risky if you trade where these zones are. Because the last thing you want to do is enter, a sell position right here. Your stop loss is too tight. And then it ends up rejecting off here and stops you out, right? Same situation down here. If you enter a sell position down here, your stop loss is at this swing, at the structure. You enter a sell position right here, rejects off this point, and then stops you out before continuing down further, right? So this happens all the time where you guys enter a trade, and then as soon as you enter, it pulls back, stops you out, and then it hits full TP. So I would, I'd be careful with something like this because this is a very, risky trade to be trading right now just because of what's going on in the world. So let me keep going down the questions over here and then see if there's anything else that we can be looking at. Peter said, what the hell is going on with US 30? Wow, what the heck happened? This thing dropped heavy. So it looks like it might reject off this point right here. You guys have seen how this happens all the time. It happens where it retraces down a little bit. And then once you reach around 10 a.m., around lunchtime, it ends up swinging back in the other direction. So we'll see how this plays out. But I'm not going to keep looking at it because obviously this is just going to stress you out if you keep looking at current price. I'm just going to let it play out how it's supposed to, and then we will see how it continues further. So let me go ahead and analyze the next pair over here. So we already looked at GU. I'm going to look at GJ now for Amar. Let me go ahead and take a look at GJ now. So that's GU right there. I'm going to save the chart. Look at, that's GU. I'm going to look at GJ now. So looking at GJ right here, I think this is going to have a bearish bias, specifically because of what's going on in the UK. Obviously the country's back in lockdown. They have the new COVID strain out there. not looking good for the UK right now. So that's why I anticipate this to come down. If you guys aren't familiar with the JPY, it's a safe haven currency. So when stuff isn't going right with a specific currency or in general in the world, the yen gains in strength. The yen, the Swiss franc, and the and gold. Those are the three main. Those are the three main safe haven currencies. So I'm just going to delete everything off the chart. This is going to be a. I'm getting like a million messages right now. So if you guys are sending me messages on Telegram, I'm probably not going to be able to respond until after the session. So just hang tight if I haven't responded to you yet. But here we go with the naked chart right here. I'm going to turn on the K2 pivots. Zoom out from there. Hit this rectangle tool. That right there. That right there. That right there. That over there. And this right here. And let's make a big one up here since we're not really going to be trading at that around that point. So after drawing those structures, I'm going to go ahead and hide the indicator, zoom out from here. You can see how nicely we've drawn these structures right here where price generally rejects from, right? Price goes from structure, rejects off this point, comes down, rejection, and literally just bounces from structure to structure. So looking at this right here, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the momentum indicator, and then we'll identify the direction of momentum right here. So clearly right here, we have a sell momentum. In order for us to take this entry, I don't want this to break below the structure right here. Then we can take a short position from here and then ride it to this next structure down here for about 72 pips. So that's pretty much what I see happening over here. And then once that happens, we can probably see this push down even further from that point. Damn, what's going on with US 30? This thing's dumping like heavy. Let me check real quick the news. Is something happening in the world? Looks like everything is dumping right now. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like the DJ's down, S&P's down, NASDAQ's down. Looks like the whole stock market is like crashing heavily right now. Well, not crashing, but it's, they're in the negative all across the board. I wonder if there's anything that's like necessarily happening. I mean, Facebook got sued, obviously. Vimeo, I don't think that. Existing home sales. I mean, it's going to affect it to some extent, but not necessarily completely. Yeah, I'm shocked to see it drop like that. Let me see. Code news. I mean, yeah, obviously we got the stimulus. So it looks like the whole world is kind of going through shutdowns right now. France, they have a border closure. US, I mean, obviously there's more cases in the US every day. Stocks open flat 2 hours ago. So what could be happening is that the market is just having a late reaction to the COVID relief bill. So right here, it says that the stocks open flatline. This was about 2 hours ago. And then now it's having a late reaction to the stimulus. Let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, there isn't really anything specific that's really indicating that, a drop for US 30. Pull this up real quick. See if there's any other news here that's like directly affecting it. Dow Jones. We're going for a steady open. Doesn't look steady at all. Yeah, overall, there's not really anything that's indicating, any sort of drop. It did drop like 200 points today, though. Well, recently, it wasn't dropping like that earlier. But let's see. Okay, 22nd. This was this morning. This was actually just right now, or no, it was a couple hours ago. So basically, I'm just gonna try to see if I could find any hints as to why it's dropping. Because obviously, if there's something going on, we should be aware. Dow Jones erased 400-point drop. See, it's weird because the news here is indicating the opposite. It says a Monday erased 400-point drop. Worries. Let's see if there's anything else here. Looks like it stopped. So I'm looking at the percentage here. Every time I pull back, I'm looking at the percentage to see where it's moving right now. It doesn't look like. Yeah, there really isn't much here that's affecting the market. I'm not sure what's causing the recent drop. Looks like it's swinging back up. We're at about 51%. So it looks like it's going back up right now. Let me see if there's anything here that could necessarily affect the market. Yeah, it's weird. There's literally there's no news here that's affecting or it's directly affecting the market right now. It looks like it's just getting pushed down for whatever reason, or it might be on a stop loss hunt. I think that might be what's happening with US 30. So looking back over here, see that bottom wick? Looks like it might have been going for a stop loss hunt to stop everyone out, because looking at the sentiment right here, either going for a stop loss hunt or attempting to lure in more sellers, because 65% of people are short right now. So it looks like they're trying to possibly lure in more sellers before shooting it right back up. But like overall, it looks like it's just going sideways. There we go. I'm going on the hourly, 4 hour. I mean, for the most part, US 30 is just going sideways. But who knows? We'll see how this plays out. It's literally just consolidating right now and bouncing around. So we'll keep looking at the news, guys, to see if there's anything new that really affects the market. Otherwise, there's not really much here that's indicating a drop. So usually if something happens in the news, or like if there's a drop like that, we can pull up the news and we can usually see if there's something that's directly affecting it. City said this is not the week to trade US 30 on Ftmo. Yeah, no, definitely, because it's okay, let's see. Here we just got breaking news, guys. S&P falls for the third day, even as Congress passes the long-awaited stimulus deal. Yeah, that's crazy. So see, even CNBC indicates that they would anticipate it to be bullish, right? So this is some really unusual movement in the market. S&P falls for a third day, even as Congress passes long-awaited COVID stimulus deal. So it is moving very unusually. They were expecting it to be bullish, and this directly affects US 30 because it moves in the same direction. But just looking at this breaking news right now, it's literally was just announced just right now that US stocks fell even more. Yeah, I don't know what's causing this drop. It's really, really unusual. But I mean, the entire market's moving weird today, guys. Or not just today, but this whole week. It's more so because of the COVID news plus the stimulus, but there's nothing really indicating, what would cause this continued drop. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Yeah, there's not really any other news that's indicating anything for that. But we'll see how this ends up playing out as it continues further. Let me check my account real quick to see how this thing is running. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that there, and then we will see how this continues to move. Yeah, guys, I'll keep a watch on the news to see if there's anything new that comes up, but I don't see anything here that's really causing it to necessarily dump like that. Not even on the Forex factory news at all. Yeah, but we'll see how that plays out. We're just gonna let it run, and then we'll see how it plays out from there. Let me see what else is going to. Walter said he made a quick 300 off that stop hunt with S&P. Varun said it's going to hit stop loss. So Varun, if you're not familiar with, I could already tell that. You said you've only been trading for 8 months, so you don't have the trade psychology down. You just have to hold the trade. We run through this like all the time, guys, where it gets close to stop loss, and then it ends up recovering. But if it does hit stop loss, I mean, it's completely fine. We're still pretty heavily up for the week, for the month. I mean, not the week, for the month in general, and for the year overall. So these weeks like this happen. That's why for Ftmo, that's what I was mentioning about leaving your cushion there, because generally if you have a 100K account, you could only lose 10,000. So the thing is, I left like 10,000 the last time. So if this ends up being a bad week, it's fine because I'll survive it and I'll move on to the next week and continue on from there, right? There's no guarantees the market's going to be good every single week. So just keep that in mind when you guys do Ftmo, or when you guys even get better at trading, because I know a lot of you guys here are new, and the market isn't always going to be going in your direction every single time. The thing is, it's a long-term game where you have to stack your wins so that when the market gets a little crazy, you're going to be able to you'll be able to weather the storm and continue up further. There's been a bunch of messages on Telegram. Let's see what else we got here. Yes, Hisu said it's going to bounce back up. It's a stop hunt. MACD on the 1 minute and 3 minute. 9 keeps getting forced down, but it's not staying down. It's trying to break. Varun said, Shawn, I hold my stop loss and TP until either of them gets hit because I have a perfect RNI. Yeah, exactly, Varun. Like, our win rate's high. So the thing is, even if we lose like a couple trades, it's going to balance out at the end of the month or so. Like I mentioned yesterday, our results for December are still pretty high. They're let's see. Yeah, we had 12 wins. We had 1 loss yesterday. So we have 1 win today. So we have 1 win from UK 100 this morning, right here. This is everyone's profit. So looking at our results here, we have 13 wins and 3 losses. So it's still doing pretty well. I mean, obviously, if you do the math with that, we have a total of 13 wins plus 3 losses. That's a total of 16 trades. So 16 divided by 13, 13 divided by 16, we have an 81% win rate right now for the month of December. So, for you guys that are joining late, you guys just have to weather the storm. If you guys enter at a bad time, that's why you guys should be trading with us, for the entire year, because obviously if you're trading with us the entire December, like if we have a loss, it doesn't really affect us because we've already stacked up all these wins for the month entirely. So it was just funny because yesterday, like we had a lot of people complaining about, certain trades, and they're only taking like 1 trade. So if you guys aren't taking all these wins and you end up being the one person to take that 1 loss, then you're just unlucky. If you want to be consistent, you have to take every single trade. You can't just take 1 trade and then put your whole account on it and expect it to hit, because odds are that's probably not going to happen. It becomes a long-term game. That's why we always emphasize risk management, guys. You guys have to use proper risk management for every single trade, because if you don't, when the market's not great, which it's not always going to be great, it will, it'll burn you. So just keep that in mind, guys. When you're trading, always use proper risk management every single time. Sisu said also those wicks are on support. Yeah, definitely. I saw that too. Varun said I'm closing every day in profit, so I'm not worried at all, even if I get some losses. Exactly, Varun. That's the way to see it, because you have to look at trading from a long-term perspective. You can't expect to make $1 million in one night. A lot of people here have crazy goals where they want to make like these crazy profits in one night with like a $10,000 account or even like a $100 account. It's not going to happen when the market's going crazy. You guys got to keep in mind that there's a lot of factors in this week. For one, it's Christmas. There's 2 holidays. There's 2 holiday days this week where the market's just going to be dead. The COVID strain was found in the UK. The stimulus was passed. and there's lockdowns throughout Europe. So that's like 4 big factors affecting the market. So these crazy movements in the market were expected. So if you guys can't handle the risk, then just sit out the rest of the week, because you're going to see these crazy movements. And if you don't have the trade psychology to stomach these drawdowns that might swing back in profit eventually, then you should probably just hold off and like wait until the market kind of calms down a bit, because it's going to keep moving crazy this entire week. So just keep that in mind if you guys are too scared to take these trades or you guys get nervous, because it's not going to change. It's going to be like this for the rest of the week, probably for the rest of the month. David said, I can't risk 70% per trade. Exactly. No, for sure. And, there's like some people that messaged me recently that, or they messaged me yesterday and told me that I need to be more accurate. Okay, guys, I'm like at above 80% for US 30. If you could find someone that's way more accurate than that, then maybe you should go learn from them, because I don't know how accurate you want me to be, but I've tried to be, I'm fully transparent with you guys. I show you guys all the wins. I show you guys all the losses. Yesterday we had a loss. That was fine, because like I mentioned, we have X amount of wins. So that loss just was a little hiccup. It wasn't a big loss for us because we're heavily in profit for the month. So yeah, Dave, you should go risk 70%. I forget who mentioned that yesterday. Nice. Okay. So yeah, Sisuk has a couple different analyses right here. He mentioned that the bullish candle is forming into a secondary zone. And after that, the trend will establish and shoot up. Exactly. That's what I see happening as well. Sisuk also saw, second bullish candle forming 3 soldiers. Yeah, no, definitely. I used to follow that strategy before too, Sisuk. So it looks like it's swinging right back up, guys. So look at this swing up right here. See, this always happens. It gets close to stop loss, it swings up, and then it shoots straight to full TP, right? That's why I'm telling you guys to just let it be, let it play out, because the trade's just going to do what it's supposed to do. If it ends up hitting our TP, good. If it doesn't, then that's cool too, because this is just one trade, or I guess 2 trades for the week. But we have, quite a few days left. Let's see, it's the 22nd. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got about 4 days left of trading. So we're completely fine. And we're still up in profit, guys. We're up 12 wins. So, it doesn't matter if we don't have a great time moving forward, but we're still in profit for the month. So just keep that in mind. Trading is it's a long-term game. You have to go for those long-term goals, not just, overnight success. Yeah, let me keep going down these questions over here, see if there's anything else going on. City said, why would US 30 start doing this the week when I start my verification process? City, that's the worst part. It always happens. I feel like that happens all the time for a lot of people. It's like they get through the challenge and then they get to the verification. And as soon as they get to the verification, it becomes like a crazy week. Or if they get to funded, it turns into a crazy week as well. So, you're not the only one that, that's happened to. It's happened to me too, previously. Here, let me keep checking over here and see what else is going on. C6 said, legit, it happened to me the first 2 times I started Ftmo. I learned to stay out of the market, chills, like Shawn just said. Yeah, definitely. Nice, Cameron. How's it going, bro? Josh said, even Ray Charles can see that the K2 has a high profit factor. Exactly, man. You guys have to look at this from a long-term perspective. Don't look at this as, being super profitable after just 1 week. Look at it from a month perspective or even a year perspective. Because if you guys followed all of our trades for like the entire year, these are all the Forex trades from January up until December, right? So we had, 455 wins plus 146 losses. So 601 total trades. So 601 divided by 455. Oh, sorry. 455 divided by 601. Our Forex trades have a 76% win rate. That's pretty high for, any trader or any signal provider in general. Looking over at our, US 30 trades over here, we have 87 wins and 20 losses. So we have 107 total trades. We divide 87 by 107. We still have nearly 82% win rate for US 30, guys. So if you guys followed every trade since May or since January, you'd be heavy in profit for the year. So that's what I mean about, you know, seeing this as a long-term game, because you guys can't get lucky every single time. You know, it's not going to be straight full TP every single time, every single day. It's the market's rocky, guys. So you guys have to be able to stack your wins when you can and weather the storm when the market's not great. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, exactly. And Cameron said Christmas time is the worst time to trade. Exactly. Because normally during Christmas time, the market's pretty dead, but we are in a different year where it's COVID. So you'll get random price, like spikes in price. It's not always going to be, you know, moving smoothly, especially not during the holidays. Okay, let me keep going through here and see what's going on over here. Hassan said, oh, I see Shawn's post both Ftmo and regular parameters. I thought she just posted the Ftmo. That's probably why I had the wrong numbers. Yeah, exactly. So that might have been the issue right there. So make sure you look at the signal when I send it out. Make sure you're following the right one. Cameron said it bounced off that support zone, definitely. So I'm looking at it right here. There we go. We have the nice rejection off that point. It's coming right back up. So that's why I'm not too worried, guys. A lot of people, like a lot of you guys are sweating it, but in reality, this happens all the time. That's why I don't bother looking at it at all. I just let it play out and do what it's supposed to do. So we'll see how this plays out. Other than that, there's not really much to look at right here. Let me see if there's any other questions. I think I might have missed something. Actually, no, that's it for the questions. So if you guys have any other questions that you guys want me to look at, if you guys have any pairs you guys want me to analyze, anything specific you want me to cover, you know, with regard to Ftmo or K2, any of the K2 strategies, I can cover that for you. Just go ahead and put it in the chat and then we can take a look. Otherwise, I think we're done with questions for right now. I will probably, you know, just hang around with you guys. The next candle, 4-hour candle closes at 10. So when that closes, I'll be looking for Forex trades. Otherwise, you know, we're just going to hang tight and probably keep looking at US 30 for now to see, you know, what happens from this point moving forward. Yeah, Cameron said, bro, 82%. Most traders don't have over a 60%. It's actually worse, Cameron. Like a lot of traders don't even have over a 50%. And those are the people that try to go for the home run wins. You know, you'll see people that try to go for 1 to 4 risk to reward. For us, we have a high win percentage. That's why we can go for a 1 to 1. But people who trade with say a 1 to 4 risk, these people lose like majority of their trades. They have like one home run win that makes them like hit break even. They'll have like, you know, 5 of these losses, and then they have one win and it covers them back to break even until they end up getting another good trade. So that's the reason why we use 1 to 1. A lot of people don't understand the difference, but we have a high win percentage. So obviously if we're trading 1 to 1, so for example here, we have, you know, an 82% win rate. If you have, you know, majority of wins, so say like 30% of the time you're winning, right? 30% of the time you're winning, you multiply that by, you know, each trade you're probably risking, I don't know, like 5%. You'd probably be up like 150% overall. So, you know, it's basic math, guys. If your win rate's high and you take every single trade, you know, obviously your profit's gonna compound over time, because if you just keep taking 5% and you just keep hitting wins, then it's gonna keep increasing. If you take a loss, and obviously it's gonna be less. So here, like for example here, so our results here, let's see, we had, okay, so for indices right here, we had, let's see, 87%, 87 wins, right? And then each trade is probably like a 10% risk for US 30 because it's a higher risk. It's about 87% growth, 870% growth. We have 20 losses multiplied by 10. We have a net negative of 200% loss. So obviously you do the math there, you know, 870% minus 200%, you'd still have a net percentage gain of 670. This is if you took every single trade that was called from May up until now. And obviously, you know, the profit potential right here as well. So you should base all your trades off percentage, not really profits. That's why these are approximations, because not everyone's using that same lot size. And the same with FX over here. Every pair is worth a different amount. So that's one thing that a lot of people didn't realize that I discussed recently. Like an AUD pair is not going to be the same price as a GU pair, right? They're totally different. So that's why you guys have to keep in mind that they're just approximations. They're not exact numbers with regard to these profits down here, because it could be more or it could be less. Really depends on what you're trading. Okay, let me go down the chat real quick. Cameron said gold, so let's take a look at gold. We were just looking at that earlier, Cameron. Looks like it dropped and it played out like we drawn up earlier. Yeah, so it looks like it's dropping right here. It might even reject off this structure. I just mentioned that it's probably going to come down a little bit, either to here or even here. Maybe this would be like the last area for it to reach, and then at that point it'll probably shoot back up. But it was like I was mentioning earlier, you know, the sentiment is crazy, because sentiment is, there's so many people that are long for gold right now. Everyone's trying to buy gold, right? And they just keep pushing it down because they're trying to stop out all the people that are long gold. So everyone has a bunch of long positions here. They're just going for a stop loss hunt to pretty much kick everyone out of the trade before it shoots right back up. And you guys know how that is. It happens all the time. It's, you know, classic market manipulation by the institutions and market makers. Let's see. Let's keep going on here and see what else we've got going on in the chat. So let's see, Deswell said, how many Ftmo accounts do you have, Shawn? So I have 2, and I have 1 challenge that's running right now. So I technically have 3. I should probably hit my 300K by next year, hopefully early next year. I got to pay for that wrap for my car. So if you guys saw the wrap that I got for my my Tesla, it's I'm getting this chrome blue. Actually, it's Profit Chrome Blue. That's what David said yesterday. Profit Chrome Blue wrap. So if you guys saw my Tesla previously, I think I don't know if I still have it here. But yeah, I was going between 2 colors. I was either going to get a rose gold for my Tesla like this, but I decided to go with chrome blue, this color right here. So this is what my car is going to look like in a little bit. I got some work done on it yesterday, so it's probably going to be done by the end of the year. So you guys see my new car, I'll show you guys what it looks like once I get that wrapped in the chrome blue. But that's why I need to hit these wins on Ftmo so I can pay for that wrap, because that wrap was freaking expensive. But yeah, hopefully that that plays well. I mean, overall our trades are good, guys. So like right here, you know, if you look at all of our wins here, we're, regardless as to how the market moves, it's still going to be good overall for us. So we're just got to hang tight and continue trading for the rest of the year. You know, basically just keep pushing on further. So let me see what else we got over here. Brune's asking, any traders who have 40%, but they have higher RR? Yeah, exactly. That's what I just mentioned, Varun. So like if you're trading a strategy that has a lower win percentage, then, you know, generally they'll be taking more trades, but they'll have a higher RR because they can lose more trades. For us, we don't lose as many trades. That's why we are able to use a 1 RR, because we have a high win rate, obviously, right? You do basic math, you know, you put one and one together. As long as you have more wins than losses, you can use, like if you have way more wins than losses, then you can use a 1-to-1. If you have something where it's more so on like 40% win rate, like opposite, then yeah, obviously you could have the opposite here. So instead of having 12 wins and 2 losses, you could have 2 wins and 12 losses, but then your R&R would be totally different. So just keep that in mind. You know, there's no right or wrong R&R. It just depends on what strategy you're applying and if you know how to do it properly. Because some people will always go for like 1-to-4 and they'll just lose every single trade. And you know, obviously it doesn't work that way. So it just really depends on how you trade and what fits your trading style. Let's see, Varun said, I watched a successful Ftmo successful videos, a trader. Yeah, exactly, Varun. That goes back to like what we were just discussing right now as well. It just all depends on the win rate. You know, every strategy is different. If the strategy fits your R&R, then use it. If not, then you might that might be the adjustment that needs to be made to continue on further from there. Isaac is asking, when would be the best time to buy gold? If you ask David, he'd probably say never, because we don't trade gold. But if you wanted to look at gold, I would wait for it to swing back up. I mean, right now, obviously, I wouldn't touch gold at all because it's being manipulated. I would wait for it to swing back up, possibly when it closes above here. then I would take the buy. Even though you'd miss out on this whole move right here, you'd be risking less if you were to, enter a buy right here. So say you enter a buy position right here, your stop loss is like right here. It stops you out, right? You lose that trade. You enter again when it comes back up here, stops you out again. So you have like 3 stop losses when you could have just waited for it to swing up here and then take that trade upwards, right? So yeah, David said, never ever. If you're asking, you don't know how to trade it. Exactly. So unless you guys know how to trade gold, I don't recommend you trade it at all. There's certain people that know how to trade gold, and that's exactly how it is with me as well. With me, I don't trade gold, but I trade US 30 because I know how to trade US 30, right? I only trade stuff that I know how to trade. I'm not going to go and try to trade a million different assets and end up failing at all of them, right? Because there's some people that try to trade everything. They trade gold, they trade oil, or what happens is, so people trade gold because they see people making gold. They suck at trading gold because they don't know how to trade like everyone else that actually knows how to trade it properly. They end up blowing their account. They go over to oil. They're like, I'll trade oil now. And then they start failing at that. And then they lose at that. They go to Forex, they blow their account there. They go to US 30, they blow their account there, right? What I recommend is you only trade stuff that you actually know how to trade. So if you don't know how to trade gold properly, just practice as much as you can, figure out strategies that actually work, or you can use the K2 strategies as well to identify these entries. But if you don't know how gold moves, then we don't really recommend you trade it, because I feel like majority of people that blow their accounts are trading gold because they trade something that they don't completely understand, and they end up just blowing their account because they over leverage. That's one of the main things too. People try to trade their whole account on gold because they see people making a ton of profit off it, and then they just end up, pretty much blowing their entire account on one trade. Yeah, Deswell said, I trade gold just about every other day. David said, K2 doesn't trade gold for a reason. Exactly. Gold is just not the asset that I like to trade. I prefer to trade something like US 30 because I understand how US 30 moves. You shouldn't have to force any assets on you. If you don't know how to trade something, then don't force it. Only trade it if you actually know what you're doing. Deswell said he's about 70%, study gold for like 3 years. Yeah, exactly. Gold is something that you definitely have to understand how it moves. Similar with any other asset. So unless you're familiar with it and you know how to trade it, then I don't recommend you trade it. But this is probably what I see happening here. Once price swings up here, then it'd be a nice buy. However, I personally wouldn't enter it with what's going on in the market today. Not today, just this week in general. All right, let's see if there's anything new here. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Check this out. CDC says new COVID strain in UK could already be circulating in the US. Wow. Damn, that's crazy. Send this to someone real quick. Send it to some people over there. All right, David, see you later. David said he's out. See you on my main account. Ron Mexico checking out. Yeah, no problem, Isaac. Like, the thing is, we're not trying to discourage you from trading gold. The thing is, we want you to actually understand what you're doing before you trade it. Don't just hop into a trade because everyone else is like joining in on the hype. Because we've seen a lot of people blow their accounts on gold, and it's easily, it could be easily avoided if you actually, learn how it moves for the most part. So I would recommend you study it a little bit, or just try to practice the K2 strategies on it, and then see how it works. Because obviously the strategy does work on it. It's just I don't trade it because the moves are too erratic for me, and I personally don't really like trading it like that. But it does work pretty well. I mean, honestly, I might start trading it because it does look like it's working pretty decently, especially on the higher time frames. Oh man, no, yeah, Isaac said I did lose 400 on gold yesterday. Yeah, it happens all the time, Isaac. I mean, that's why I always recommend that someone master it before they actually hop into gold, because it's just a very risky asset to trade, especially when there's a lot of news events affecting it heavily. So keep in mind, COVID is going to affect gold like literally crazily. Yeah, looking at this article right here, yeah, it looks like CEC says new COVID strain in UK could be circulating in the US, which could be pretty crazy. There's no new news yet. It's just that little update. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, if that happens, we're going to go back into lockdown here in the US. It's going to be pretty crazy, guys. Pretty crazy. Varun said, gold is a little bit choppy, so it would be difficult for new traders to trade it. Exactly. I agree with you 100%, Varun. So yeah, he said to be patient with gold. You have to actually understand how it moves. That way you don't get caught in those like, crazy movements. Dennis said, I made 8,000 from 400 on gold and blew it within a month of risky trading. Exactly. See, that happens all the time, guys, where you trade something risky like gold, you make a lot of money right away, but then you blow it right the next day if you don't, obviously if you don't trade it properly, because, it's a very risky asset to trade, guys. Like a lot of people don't realize how risky it is until they get burnt by it. And it happens all the time. I mean, it's messed up, but it's like it happens all the time. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. Let me see if there's anything else here. So I'm still looking at US 30 right here. It looks like it's about to swing back up, thankfully, because a lot of people are getting scared for a second there. Yeah, and I agree. Varun said gold's best for scalping. So if you guys are familiar with the pivot strategy, a lot of people in K2 have been using it for scalping, and they've actually been making like a ton of profit off it, literally just using the pivot strategy. Like right here. So here's some entries right here that, obviously appeared right here, like some sell signals right here. Could have profited about 20 pips. Again, right here for a sell signal into the next structure right here. About like 50 pips, 60 pips right there. Wow, these actually hit pretty heavy. I think I might start scalping gold for a second, see how this plays out, because these actually play out pretty nicely. Yeah, I'm not going to try to tempt you guys to try it because it's still risky, but yeah, I mean, it's there for you guys to look at. Looks like it's rejecting off this point though, so we'll see how that plays out. Let's see, Rizul's asking, did you just take the US 30 trades for your Ftmo challenge, or did you include additional Forex trades? So Rizul, for my Ftmo, I only take US 30. I don't take any other trades. I just take this daily entry every day. I take my Forex trades on my personal accounts. Right here, I have my Forex.com account. I trade it directly on TradingView, and that's how I trade Forex. The reason for that is because I want to have a calculated risk. Like every time I enter a trade for US 30, I want to know exactly, what my risk is entering and exiting the trade, because I'm only taking one trade a day and I'm taking a high probability trade. So that's why I'm able to have high profits. So like if you look here on my so my trades for the month for my Ftmo, they're all US 30. See, I don't trade Forex on here at all, just US 30. And you can see how profitable it is for the month of December. And this was a week ago. I have to update it. This was a week ago. I made about 13,000, I think, up until the 16th or 17th. And this is just taking one trade a day. So if you use a high probability strategy that, generally hits, this is how much profit you could technically make, just trading once a day, like no stress, literally just take the trade and then go on with your day. So like right now, I generally would probably go on with my day, but I don't mind hanging out with you guys for a bit. So I'm still here, but I do need to register my gym. So let me register my gym session today. All right, perfect. Got that set up right there. So yeah, guys, I'm probably gonna hang out with you guys here for another 30 minutes. I'm gonna see if there's any Forex entries that are possibly going to, appear. Other than that, I'm probably gonna get offline in the next 30 minutes. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now. Otherwise I'll get back to you guys when I get back to my desk. Let me see if I have any sessions today. So today I have 2 mentoring sessions actually. So I have 2 mentoring sessions tonight at 6 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is Los Angeles time. If you guys want to sit in on that, you guys are more than welcome. Just a reminder, in order for you guys to get the notifications for that specific session, because I don't post that link publicly, if you guys like the video and subscribe to the K2 YouTube page, then you will get an email from YouTube, notifying you that I'm going live for the mentoring sessions. So if you guys want to sit in on the mentoring sessions, you guys are welcome to sit in later tonight. Otherwise, I can answer your guys' questions in the other channels. Meanwhile, let me see if there's anything else here. I'm gonna try to see what's going on over here real quick to see if I missed any questions from you guys before we continue moving forward. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here, because I did see that there's a lot of other questions that keep coming in. I'm just going to delete all this stuff right here. Okay, cool, perfect. So let me go check this out over here real quick. So let's see, we've got, let me go down and check these questions over here real quick again. So it looks like we had a couple questions come in since I closed this window for a second. Isaac said it was worth the loss, but he's learned. So that's good. If you guys take trades and you guys take losses, make sure to learn from it, because as long as you learn from it, it's not really a loss. It's more so a lesson. It's like something that I think a couple of people mentioned yesterday. Deswell said, yeah, blown 3 counts on gold in the beginning, but I do not like to lose. So I studied it, and yes, I do scalp gold. Yeah, definitely. It's the same with K2, guys. I have a high win percentage because my trading personality is I don't like to lose. I like to win as much as possible. So that's why we have this specific strategy that's set in place. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same position where you guys don't like to lose either. So that's why K2 resonates with a lot of people more so than other strategies. Let's see if there's anything else here. Vernon said, trust me, Shawn, you would start scalping gold. You should start scalping gold. Well, not really, Varun. You've seen my profits. I make very good profits trading US 30. So there's really no reason for me to go and trade something where I can add more risk and probably lose more money, right? So the thing is, you don't have to trade everything. You just have to figure out what you're good at and master that specifically. And you're brand new to trading, Varun. So you've probably got a long way to go. You're probably going to try to trade all these different assets, and you'll know what I mean over time when you start to see how everything moves. So let me keep scrolling down a little further towards London. Leg day. Dennis said, I got to set up my mentoring session with you still. Yeah, definitely, Dennis. Just message me on Telegram. We can set up that mentoring session. We'll figure out what day works well, and then we will set up a day and time that works good for both of us. 11 said, hi, Shawn. Would you take another trade if that pending buy signal appears? I wouldn't, because we still have this trade active right now. I never recommend stacking positions on, because this position hasn't finished yet. So the thing is, you don't want to add on more risk until that trade's completed. Also, this is one trade a day. It's not meant to add on multiple positions to it. So I personally wouldn't enter another position, because you're just adding on unnecessary risk if you end up entering a second position from there. So I personally wouldn't. Varun's asking, Shawn, your course video buffer a lot. I think it might be a server problem. Can you recheck? I don't know. Does anyone else have any issues with the Teachable site? It might be your internet connection, Varun. Do you have a pretty stable internet connection? Because I don't think anyone else has any issues here. Let me see if I could play something. What's a video that you've been playing, Varun, that has issues? Because maybe I could play it on mine, and then we can see, if it's like an issue on your end, or if it's an issue on my end. Because if I could play it here and it doesn't lag, then it might be just your internet connection. But yeah, we can just play this right here. Let me just mute it. So I don't have any buffering issues on my end. So it just might be your internet connection. If you have buffering issues, then just click this right here and then change the quality to something lower. It might be your internet connection that's causing the, the buffering to. Yeah, Varun. I mean, Varun said I stream Netflix at 2K daily and it plays perfect. Well, I mean, if your internet connection is good, then it should be. I mean, if there's issues on yours, there should be issues on mine too, right? I'm playing this on the highest 1080p. I don't have any buffering issues on mine. So, I mean, it might be an issue just on your end because I'm running through this right here, and this is a pretty long video. I'll pull up something different. If you can tell me which video you're having issues with, I can play it. And if I'm having issues, then yeah, it would be an issue on your end. But let me see. So I'll play this right here. This is a 13-minute video, right? Or this right here. This is a 20-minute video. So I'm trying to figure out, which video you're looking at so that we can, like, maybe it is an issue on the teachable end. Here's this 20-minute video right here. So if I play this, it looks like it's playing perfectly fine for me. No buffering issues. I have it on 1080p, right? Or 720p right here. I don't really have any buffering issues on my end. So yeah, if you have the specific video that you have issues with, then we can probably see if there's an actual issue with it. But I mean, for the most part, it looks like it works fine on my end. I have it on the highest quality right here too. So yeah, I'm not sure which on a chart explaining video. Which one is that? Chart explaining video? I don't think we have a when the chart comes in it's buffering. Are you looking at this in the trading view tools and functions? Billy said you have Comcast. But no, yeah, I have this right here on 1080p. I'm getting to like all these areas right here. I don't really see any issues. So yeah, maybe it's just an issue with your internet connection. Maybe you can fix that. But me personally, I don't see any issues here. So, oh, the SR videos. Okay, so K² SR videos, 9:30. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just checking the clock to make sure. All right, so here's the K² SR videos right here. Actually, let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, so I got the highest resolution right here. Yeah, I'm not sure, bro. It might be an issue on your end because it's working on mine. Like I'm pretty much just pulling around through here. Yeah, no problem. I was just trying to help you out, but I think it might just be my internet connection. Or what you can do is you can probably clear your cookies or clear your history because maybe you've loaded it before and then it loaded up like sort of corrupted. That happens sometimes. So if that's the case, just clear your history so it starts off fresh. That might be something to fix. But yeah, guys, let me pull up the charts real quick again. Damn, look at US 30 over here still dicking around. So we'll have to just let this run, guys, because here's what generally happens. So what generally happens is price, like I mentioned, price goes in one direction. And then once we hit lunchtime, which would probably be like in an hour or 30 minutes, it ends up spiking right back, right? That's generally what happens. So that's why I wouldn't really worry about it too much right now. I would just hang on to it and then see how it plays out. Because you guys have seen some of our other positions where we've held it for like days when we didn't want to, and then it ended up hitting full TP eventually at a later time. So just keep that in mind, guys. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at anything else over here and see if there's something else here that may possibly be affecting the market. Let me see if there's any other questions. So 11 said, Akeem wants me to check out EA real quick. So let me check out EA real quick for Akeem. Go over here to Euro odd. Good thing I didn't call this trade right here. Remember, I was wondering if we should call late entry on here. Oh, you're in a buy, Akeem. So let me see. Just looking at EA right here, looks like it's in a downtrend just by looking at this over here. So it's in a downtrend, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue down. Check out the pivots. Yeah, so there's conflicting trends here. So this is, I mean, drawing the parallel channel, it looks like it's in a downtrend, but on the pivots, it looks like it's, it's attempting to swing up. So just looking at this right here, Akeem, I think it might reject off this point, possibly off these pivots, and then it would probably close above here. So once this closes above this structure right here, then we can probably anticipate it to shoot on further. It's just having some unusual movement right now. One way to identify the direction or to confirm it is we can look at the correlating pairs. So right now it looks like it's retracing down a little bit, but I think it's eventually going to swing back up. But looking at the other euro pairs, we want the other euro pairs to be bullish as well, right? So looking at euro CAD right here, overall it's bullish, has some retracement right here, actually heavy retracement of about 70 pips, right? So for euro odd right here, it's an overall uptrend, but it's retracing down a little bit. Same with euro CAD, it's retracing a little bit. Same with euro CHF, EG, EJ is going sideways. EN is also bullish, but it's retracing back a little bit. So it looks like all of the euro pairs are either going sideways or they're just having a really strong retracement right now. So I think for this as well, analyzing EA right here, I think it's just retracing slightly and it's going to swing right back up. So if you're in a buy, I think you're okay for now. Another way to analyze this is we want to make sure that the AUDs are weak, right? So we want these to be bearish. This is bullish right here, indicating that the AUD is strong. AUD-CHF is bearish. AUD-JPY is bearish as well. AUD-NZD is bullish. AUD-USD is bearish. So it's pretty mixed among the AUD pairs. They're not all correlating in one direction. So it's kind of hard for us to really identify whether the AUD is strong or whether it's weak. Right here, obviously it's, it's retracing down a little bit. One way to identify that is to just add the, I think it's AXY, the index. Okay, so the Australian dollar is weakening right now, right? So if the Australian dollar is weakening, odds of this swinging up is highly likely. So the AUD looks weak. Let me check the euro real quick, and then we'll see if that's strong. Here's why. So this is a mixed bag, right? Because the euro index is weak, and the Australian index is weak as well. So this is kind of risky because this can just go sideways until one of them flips the other way. So currently right now, I don't think this is really going to spike up or spike down to per se. It's probably going to just go sideways for a bit, but I think eventually it will spike up because it looks like the euro pairs are still pretty bullish for the most part. Obviously not euro CHF because the CHF is a safe haven currency. It's different. It doesn't correlate the same way. Same with EJ. So euro CHF and euro JPY are not going to correlate with euro odd, but looking at euro CAD right here, it's still bullish. Looking at EG right here, it's somewhat bullish as well. In euro NZD, it's still bullish as well here. So EA and EN generally go in the same direction, right? So if they're bullish right here and they're bullish right here for the most part, odds are it's just going to consolidate a bit before it swings right back up. So I think you should be fine, Akeem. Just hang in there. Hopefully your stop loss is pretty wide or decently far enough from where price currently is, because it's probably going to bounce around within this structure right here before either breaking above or continuing sideways before it ends up shooting above like that. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, I think you just have to hang on to it for a bit until there's some actual movement in the market. So let me go ahead and take a look at the other questions if there's anything else here. All right, let's see. Isaac said, I've only been trading this month and have had 14 wins and only loss was gold. Guess I was lucky. I mean, it happens sometimes. You know, you just got to trade for a long period of time, Isaac, and that's how you'll figure out whether you're consistent or not. You're not going to get a good sample within a month. You know, you have to trade for at least a year, maybe a couple of years after that. City said, "What's your analysis if we get that false buy? Would it imply a bearish bias? Not necessarily, because sometimes you get false signals and it still pushes in that direction, right? So I'll try to find a false signal here, and I'll show you where that actually happens, because it actually happens pretty often. So like, let's see. I mean, we haven't had that many false signals in a while. Okay, so like, I thought I saw one. Yeah, I don't know if I can find one here, but okay, so like, I mean, this is kind of far off, but right here we have a false buy, but then it ended up shooting up this huge gap right here, right? Just because it's a false signal doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to continue that direction. So I wouldn't necessarily analyze it from there. If you get a false signal, it's just going to be uncertain, because the thing is, it's giving you a buy signal, but it's a bearish candle. So it's like, oh, am I going to follow that or not? Like right here, we have a false buy, right? We have a buy signal, but it's a bearish red candle within it. Even though we had that, it's still pushed up to this point. So that's what I mean about, false signals. They're not necessarily going to indicate that price is going to continue in that direction. So I wouldn't necessarily ignore it just because. So, all right. So that's it with that question. Let me keep going down further. See if there's anything else over here. So let me see if I skipped anything here. Billy said, my interview at Comcast, the lady kept pausing in person. Like you did one of those online interviews. I mean, like a Zoom meeting, I guess. Let me see if there's something else over here. All right, Varun's in a sell for NZDUSD. Can you analyze it for me? So let me pull up NZDUSD real quick. So looking at NZDUSD, this was the sell that I mentioned, I think earlier today. I think it'll probably push down to this next structure down here. So I think you're fine with that sell. But it's going to be iffy, because like I mentioned earlier, Varun, if you're incorporating the stimulus news, it's going to weaken the US dollar. So it's probably going to push down a little bit, not too far, but eventually it's going to spike up at some point. So we're not really certain when that will happen, but it's bound to happen eventually, because the more US dollars get printed, the weaker the US dollar gets. And, the farther it'll shoot upwards. So I'd be careful with that just in case. So we got a buy signal for your USD. Nice. If we get that buy signal, it'll be nice. And then we could kind of ease off on the worry a little bit there. But yeah, I think you should be fine with the sell right now, Varun, but I'm not necessarily 100% sure like how far it'll go until it ends up, reversing on you. So I'd keep that in mind, but it's going to have a bullish bias eventually, but it might not happen now. It might not happen tomorrow. It'll happen maybe at random. So this can keep pushing down, but then at this point, it'll either reject up from here, or it can reject up directly from here as well. So I would if you're already in profit, I would move your stop loss in profit to lock in some pips, because it's not that far from the zone right here. It's less than 20 pips away from the zone. So keep that in mind when you're taking this trade, because this is going to be a strong rejection point when price gets to that point. Sure, no problem. Let me check over here and see what else is going on. Short Scene said, what you look sometimes, something I call. Oh yeah, Short Scene. So I look at IG sentiment. If you go to the IG sentiment, it shows you where most traders are. So if you look at the IG sentiment, it shows that there's 80% of people that are long on gold. That's how many people are buying gold right now. Same with the Dow 30 right here. There's 65% of people short. That's how many people are selling US 30 right now. And the key is, you don't want to be trading where everybody's trading, right? Because majority of people get stopped out. Majority of people fail at trading. So you don't want to follow the herd. Like you don't want to be where everybody else is. Like with gold right here, there's 81% of people long on gold, but you can see gold is coming down. So I personally wouldn't want to be trading where all those people are, because they might end up spiking price down to stop everyone out before shooting it up. So I just keep that in mind. I use that as a final confirmation. So once I have my entry set up, like right here, we have our US 30 cent entry set up. Once I'm all done with that, I'll go to the sentiment and then I'll see where everyone's trading. I want to make sure that I'm not trading where everybody's trading, because odds are it's probably not going to play out in your favor if you do that. So just keep that in mind. It's just another tool that we use to increase our probability of winning. NK said, would you mind analyzing NASDAQ 100 and Bitcoin from a scalper's perspective? Your prediction for them played out perfectly yesterday. Really nice, Nick. I was absolutely awed. I took notes from what you saw in your analysis, and even your really small movement predictions were to the point, to the T, definitely. So let me go and take a look at NASDAQ real quick. Pull up NASDAQ 100. Oh yeah, it played out perfectly, right? It bounced off that and then shot right up. So I can go ahead and analyze this from scratch. Let me just delete everything off the chart. Yeah, looking at NASDAQ right here. Let's draw these zones up here. This one right there. That right there. That right there. I can just connect these right here, because the thing is, price is so far above, it's probably not going to reach down here. So that's why for these points over here, I generally just create, big zones, because there's really no point in really worrying about these too much. All right, because these zones down here are irrelevant. Obviously, you guys will understand why they're irrelevant, because price is so high. Price isn't going to come way down here anytime soon, right? So that's why we're not too worried about these specific zones right here. But yeah, looking at NASDAQ, I've drawn these zones here. You can see that price generally respects these zones pretty nicely. And you can see it kind of creates a storyline for you to identify where the rejection points are. So I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. Looks like we have a sell momentum right now. However, price is ranging within the zone right here, right? So if this ends up shooting up above here and we get a buy signal, then this will likely continue upwards from that point for the NASDAQ. However, if price closes below here, then odds are it's probably going to continue down further. However, I think I have a bullish bias, because we do see the Dow starting to swing back up. So I think this is going to swing up in this direction. Like I mentioned, you should always analyze from multiple perspectives in order to identify, what are the possibilities of it either going your direction or going against you. So keep that in mind. But I definitely do think that this will possibly go up from that point. Another confirmation that I would use is I would use the K2 pivots to identify that it's in a very strong uptrend, right? It's clearly in a very strong uptrend right here. So you see price rejecting off this pivot. That's why I anticipate it to shoot above here. Once it closes above this point, we can anticipate this to shoot up even higher. So that's what I see happening right here for the NASDAQ. It looks like everything is swinging back up. So looking at CNBC right here, see NASDAQ is back in the green. It was actually in red earlier when these were in the red, but looks like everything is swinging back in the green. So the Dow Jones was super in the negative, like I think it was like negative 200 points. Now it's only up to 100. It's probably going to keep pushing up. Same with the S&P. People are starting to buy the dip. So when they buy the dip, it's going to push price upwards, and then we can see it continue up for a bullish move. So that's what I see happening for NASDAQ right here. Similar to this entry over here, this is going to be the pivot entry, right? So this is going to be the K2 pivot strategy, scalping, 10-minute. One, identify trend using K2 pivots. Identify retracement. identify rejection to pivots area. And then lastly, obviously enter on the open. Oh no, identify valid K2 signal. Valid K2 signal. And then lastly, obviously enter on the open of the following candle. So it's really simple, guys. This is the strategy right here. Obviously identify the trend. Price is obviously trending up right here, right? It's been trending up from way down here. So applying the strategy right here, we identify the trend. We see the retracement, price comes up, retraces downwards, or identify the rejection, number 3, rejection off this point, and then a buy signal. So this would be a pivot entry right here for a full TP for about 300 pips. Again, right here, another pivot entry, another gain for about 300 pips. Another entry right here, another gain for about 300 pips. Another entry right here, a gain for another 300 pips. And then again, right here, if we get another buy signal, like I mentioned, so I'm anticipating the rejection off this point. Here we see price comes up, comes down, comes up, retracement from this point, rejection, we get a buy signal, then we would take another long position right here for another full TP. So that's what I see happening with NASDAQ right there. I would have a bullish bias, but you would have to just wait for that entry to appear. So that's basically what we'd be waiting for right here for the pivot entry. But until we get a buy signal, or until it closes above here with the buy signal, then we'd possibly be waiting for that to close up before taking that trade. So that's it for NASDAQ. Let me go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Nice. So we had another pivot entry right here. Same thing that I just went over right here. I'm just going to copy it. Go over to Bitcoin. Same situation right here, right? We identified the trend. Price is trending up right here. Retracement from here. Rejection. Buy signal. You enter a long position right here. Stop loss would be the previous swing, which would be right here, about, I don't know, say like 7,000 pips or 700 pips, I guess. And it would have hit full TP right there. So we're waiting for the same thing again right here, NK, basically waiting for a buy signal, because obviously you see prices still trending up. You have the retracement from this point, rejection from this point. We need a buy signal like we did right here. Then we can enter another long position right there. Right? It's really simple. I mean, a lot of people like to overcomplicate trading. In reality, it's not that difficult if you have a system that actually works. So there we go. Wait for a buy signal. Once that closes like it did right here, you can take it and then pretty much ride that to full TP. Easy as that. Not difficult at all. Here goes our US 30 right here, bouncing right back up. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there for NASDAQ and for Bitcoin. NK, I do see them both being bullish. So just wait for that buy signal for Bitcoin, or wait for the buy signal for NASDAQ. And I think you should be good. Yeah, I'm glad that my analysis for you played out 100%. Hopefully you made a lot of profit off that, because that was definitely looking like a great entry from there. So let me see if there's anything else here. Actually, it's 9:50. So let me scan through all of the pairs real quick, see if there's any entries for us to take. It's been a really slow week, guys, for the most part. So I know I haven't called as many signals as you guys are used to, but there's a reason behind that. I'm not giving you guys random trades. I'm not giving you guys super risky trades. I'm giving you guys trades that I specifically think are higher probability trades. Like right here, I'll probably enter this 50 pips. So I'll probably call this right here. It's about 9:50. I got 10 minutes. So I'm going to scan through these really, really quick, guys, just so that we don't miss any possible entries. I just want to make sure all the JPYs are bearish. If they're bearish, then it could actually be a nice trade for us to take here. I analyzed the euro earlier. It was a mixed bag, so I'm probably not going to be trading those. Let me see how far is EJ from here. It's not that far. It's only 20 pips. Let's see how far. That's 50 pips. So that's good. That's a little bit better. EN, nothing there. EU. And this is such a risky trade, guys. I want to take this EU, but the problem with this is that it can easily reverse on us at like literally any point. So there's EU right there. Mark that up. Look at AUs, make sure they're both bearish. Yeah, they're sort of bearish, but you know, like I mentioned, it's a risky trade to really take. I mean, the market in general is just risky, but you know, obviously there's a bunch of people that just want signals in the group. So I'm going to give you guys a signal like at least once a day if I can possibly find one that's a really good trade. But like I was mentioning before, guys, it's a risky time to trade. So I don't want to give you guys too many trades that are going to increase your risk too heavily. Yeah, NJ is too close. I'm not going to call that. NU right here, it's too close as well. UCAD, it's being weird. USD CHF is being weird as well. So all the USD pairs are moving really weird because they're moving the opposite of what you would expect, you know, following a you know, stimulus release like that. But I mean, we'll see. Looking at AJPY right here, I might call this trade, but we'll see. I mean, I personally just don't want to call any risky trades for you guys. That's the main thing. You know, I don't mind calling trades, but it's just me calling risky trades because obviously I like to have a high win rate. You know, I don't want to take trades that are too risky, but I also don't want to be too careful because if you become too careful, you end up not taking any trades, and then you end up, you know, not really being as profitable as you can be if you just avoided, you know, unnecessary losses. So we only have one trade that's possibly available. These USD pairs don't really look, I don't know. It's like I want to call it, but then I also don't because it just seems too risky. How far did this drop? Because there might be a retracement after this. EU has about an 80 pip drop. I'm not going to call that because it's probably going to retrace up a little bit. And then maybe if it comes back down, then I'll take it. But I don't like taking immediately after a huge dump like that. It's just too risky on my end. So I might be calling AJ right here. This might be the only call for today. We'll see how this plays out. Otherwise, we will see how this plays. NK said, thank you so very much for taking the time to do that. You're so great. Yeah, definitely, NK. You know, I'm glad I could help you. And I'm glad that those trades played out perfectly for you. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully, if you're in those trades, it does play out just like we analyzed. Let me keep continuing over here and see what else is going on. Yeah, everyone said, thanks for the advice. No problem. Short Scene said, thanks for discussing IG. Sure, no problem with that either. Razul said, do you think it's a good time to take Ftmo or wait until New Year? So Razul, it's the same answer I give to everyone. You know, there's never a good or bad time to trade. If you feel confident with your trading, then just do it. If not, then hold off because it's really about confidence. You know, if you feel confident with your trading and you think you're going to do well, then you're probably going to do well. If you're scared and nervous and you don't think you're going to do so well, you're probably not going to do well. So it's all mindset. There's no good or bad time to trade. You know, obviously right now we're going through like a little rough patch with the trades because the market's just moving weird, but it could easily flip at any moment. So when you least expect it, you can easily, you know, end up, you know, hitting full TPs back to back to back like John did and pass your Ftmo within 4 days. So it's just really up to you how you feel about trading. If you don't feel comfortable or confident yet, then don't do it yet. But if you do, then feel free to do it because, you know, opportunities out there. It just really depends if you're willing to take it. So that's it for that. Let me see if there's any other questions here. City said, stepped away for a second. Did we get that US 30 buy signal for second confirmation? We did. So there's that buy signal right there. We can anticipate this to possibly, you know, swing up from that point. Yeah, it looks pretty nice too because price rejected off this point. We came down, established a low, rejected off this point, followed by a buy signal. So we could probably see this shoot up, but like I mentioned, it's probably going to take some time before that happens. So we're probably let this run for the next couple hours, and then we'll see how this plays out within, you know, by the time New York session closes. Let's see. Simple Trader said just bought 50K of plug, trending to 60 next week. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure what plug is. I haven't heard of them before. Wesley said you get 10 extra days to finish the challenge if you start on or before December 28th. That's a good deal too, actually. Extra 10 days could go a long way. So that's cool right there. But yeah, going back to the Forex pairs, I don't really see many entries. The only one that I really kind of see right now is AUD-JPY. So this is probably going to be the only pair that I'm going to call for Forex. Like I mentioned, the market's not great right now, so we're not going to take any unnecessary risk when it's not required, guys, right? Because there's no point in us taking trades when we shouldn't really be trading that risky. Air suspension said, like I told you a few days ago, I managed to automate your indicator, but I add multiplier 1.5 lot size. So every time it hits stop loss, next lot size. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, air suspension, because like with air suspension, how we mentioned, we generally don't have two back. I mean, the most we've had was like two back-to-back losses. We usually don't have that. We don't go that far back. So I know some people, and I never recommend you guys do this, but some people they'll basically martingale their system, right? They'll take like a standard lot, and then they'll take 1.5 and then a 2 on the third one, and then they end up making all their money back. So the thing with our win rate is that it's very high, and we usually don't have more than two back-to-back losses at a time. So when that happens, that's what Air Suspension was mentioning right here as well, because it does have some huge benefits if it ends up hitting. The only problem is if it doesn't hit, then you're going to be in some problem. But for the most part, it almost always hits. So it's not really an issue that we run into here at K2. But I'm going to go ahead and call this signal right here, right now for AUD-JPY, just for you guys, so that you guys can take this trade. So I'm going to go ahead and take it on my own account as well. Let's see, what is it, 45 pip move. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just share this with you guys in the premium so you guys can take this trade if you'd like. I think this is going to be a sell limit. So I entered a sell right there for AUD-JPY. You can see I take it right there on my live account. So you guys can see that I trade Ftmo on my MT4, obviously, and I trade Forex right here on my Forex.com account, which works perfectly fine for me. No issues on my end because I can trade two accounts and I don't have to really worry about it because they're two separate ones. 45 divided by 2, 22. Oops. We should be good on there. All right, there we go. So we're good with that. I think that's the only trade I'm going to be calling today for Forex, guys, because the market's just all over the place. And I obviously don't want to give you guys any bad trades because I want to keep our win rate up. Obviously, I only take trades that are like almost absolutely certain they're going to hit. For 22 pips, full TP right there. TP plus 45. And you guys saw that I took the trade live, right? I'm actively in the trade. I always hear people in the group complaining that the trades didn't fill. But if you guys want to have real-time trades, just learn the strategy yourself, or you can sit in on this live session. A lot of people depend on these copiers to take the trades for them, and then they won't complain when the copiers don't work and they signal. But in reality, it's their copier that isn't working. If you guys want to make sure you don't miss any trades, just learn the strategy or hop on the live and trade when I'm actually trading, because there's always people looking for something to blame, and it happens all the time. Like there's always people around that are just trying to blame something or someone if their trade doesn't play out properly. And in reality, you guys just have to take responsibility for it. If you're gonna put responsibility on a copier, then that just goes on to yourself, because you could have easily taken this trade with us live. But if you're depending on, let's see what else we got here. Simple Trader says seems too slow to trade this way. I don't know what you mean, Simple Trader. We've been hitting. If you look at our profits here, I don't know if you're new here, Simple Trader, but we got people hitting 600 profit today, this morning, 1,300. If this looks slow to you, I don't know what looks fast to you, because everyone here in K2 is locking like thousands of profits every day trading this way. So I don't know, maybe if you're trading differently, but it doesn't look slow to me here at all. Everyone here is hitting tons of profits. This is this morning from today. So I'm not sure how you trade it, but it works fine for us. So if you want to trade the way you're trading, you can continue to trade that way. We're going to keep trading the way we do here, and we're just going to keep stacking these profits. So I think that's it right there. Let me see if there's anything else that you guys have. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now, guys. I've been on this webinar for about 4 hours now, so I'm going to sign off, go to the gym for a second, and then continue monitoring our trades from that point. David said Simple wants 30 trades a day. Yeah, the thing is, it's more about quality over quantity. Simple. I don't know how you trade, but we're doing pretty well over here. So, unless if yours works, then go ahead and keep trading the way you are. But we make pretty decent profit just taking a few trades a day. 2 trades right here, $600. 3 trades or 2 trades right here, $1,300. It's more so about trading with skill and trading with quality trades versus taking 100 trades and then having $10 profit per trade. If you want to scalp, then maybe that's that's your trading style. But for us here, people here are taking like 3 trades and they're making pretty nice profit. If you're doing a 60K, everyone here is making way more than that on their account as well. So just something to keep in mind. There's no right or wrong way to trade, but we have something that works here. So we're just going to continue trading the way we've been trading. So let me continue on and see if there's any other questions here. Otherwise, I'm going to get off, run to the gym real quick. I might have to get some work done on my car prior to getting it wrapped. So yeah, let me see if there's anything else over here. Billy, sup, Joey? Oh, I know who Billy is. Not really Billy after all. Nice. Just bought my Ftmo account because I saw 10 extra days. Nice. David said 0 chance, Simple at 80%. Yeah, exactly. It's all about quality, not quantity, guys. You guys know exactly how the model goes here. We don't take that many trades. Like if you look at our results here, we don't take a crazy amount of trades. Like for December, we only took about, I think 14 trades if you add the 2 recent trades for December for indices, but we made way more profit than probably you've made on yours or like other people as well. Cause we take quality trades, we take 1 trade a day, we'll make a ton of profits because we know our risk. We manage our risk properly. We don't have to take like 100 trades in December to have this much profit here. So just keep that in mind. Everyone trades differently. It doesn't necessarily mean that their strategy is better or if it's worse. It's just we have something that works here and we're going to continue applying it. There's no point in fixing something that's not broken. So I think that's about it, guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, if you guys haven't already, please like the stream. Just help us get this channel growing so that we can continue to help other people that need help in trading. So go ahead and send me a message if you guys have any questions. I have about 12 Telegram messages I got to get to, a couple of text messages, and I probably got like about 60 emails to get through right now. So I'm going to try to get through all of these questions. And then once I'm all done with everything here, I'm going to catch you guys back in the chat. So yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. Just a reminder, we do this every single day. Here, let me see. Razul, yeah. So Razul said, Shawn, I guess no trading on Thursday and back to Monday. Yeah, because Thursday is Christmas Eve. I think all the markets are closed anyway, so it's going to be a flat market. And then Friday, Christmas dates, it's going to be closed completely. So I wouldn't trade those days. So we're probably going to trade up until tomorrow. And then tomorrow's probably still going to be a slow day for us because it's going to be the day before Christmas Eve. A lot of people are pulling out of the markets already. You know, it should be time for you to just go enjoy time with your family, enjoy time with yourself, and, you know, get along with the holidays. So yeah, guys, I think that's about it. Thanks for showing up. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning in the live trading room tomorrow. And from there, I'll keep you guys updated in the Telegram with regard to our current open position. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for showing up, and I'll see you guys on the other side. So see you guys later.